Testing audio 1 2 3. Just increasing the bitrate. Apologies, guys. Just increasing the bitrate.
the things you think is wrong with you is just a doorway to the discovery of your strength.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
Yeah, you gon' need 100 men, 100 scopes, 100 cans just for you to watch what I'm doing under the sun again. God-given gift, them seeds doing the running man. If you want me to get it poppin', may cost 100 pence. Yeah, what I supply is always in demand. The throne is mine, take that. It ain't a high five, got the upper hand. I'm too real, can't fake that. Who you know putting fear in them like this? You a vampire, still suck when you bite this. Lord forgive me for my sins, I'm feeling righteous. But they been asking me to show me I might just. They didn't think I could do it, I had to demonstrate how the flow is so heavenly, keeping demons straight. Who they fooling? I showed them the jig is up again. When I asked them who was the best, they get this to stuttering. Tell them
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning.
You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
I came this far, nothing can't stop me now. They knock me down, but they can't count me out. I can't lose, I won't lose. I can't lose, I won't lose. You may wanna save yourself. I think it's best you run away. I won't let you finish. When you came for me, you played yourself. You scream for help. It's a shame that nobody will hit me. No pain, no gain. Watch who you bang with. Make it to the top with the same ones I came with. I shoot my shot, you better know that I'ma never miss. When they coming for me, yeah, I'm gonna tell them this.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning.
You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
Catch me, I'm falling. Hear me, I'm calling. Catch me, I'm falling. Hear me, I'm calling. Catch me, I'm falling. Hear me, I'm calling. Catch me, I'm falling. Stay with me tonight. Stay with me tonight.
Look, tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah. No need for the snoozing. Big whip outside, I'm cruising. Big stick inside, no losing. Better watch out for the snake and Judas is. Don't ask them who this is. I bet they know what I'm moving in. I bet I show it into a dim. How you hate and then lose again? How you hating my vibes? Why you wasting my time? Getting hype on my line. Tell a man I don't feedback, I just want relax. Brand new whip, two-tone, I need that brand new hit. You know, like lean back, brand new bits I live in. We back, man, you never gon' like us. Get them on sight now, let them on light. That way they know I'm more righteous. Look at my life, I'm living alright. I'm nice, you know I'm alright. Cause looking like Christ, no need for the hype or fight or telephone vipers. No need for the telephone vipers. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do, I'm biased. Big bosses move in silence, watch it. No need for the liars. I don't watch your moves or priors. I got much to do, I'm biased. Big bosses move in silence. Yeah, me, I'm moving quiet. Ask me, I need me an island. New watch is perfect timing. No need for the surface shining. Ask me, I need me a few. I need me an island. I'm keeping it true. The man, I'm a wild, I'm keeping it cool. No need for the telephone hype from you. Yeah, tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, yeah. Tell a man no trouble. I don't want beef, man. I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, yeah. Tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah.
the things you think is wrong with you is just a doorway to the discovery of your strength.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning.
You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
Yeah, you gon' need 100 men, 100 scopes, 100 cans just for you to watch what I'm doing under the sun again. God-given gift, MCs doing the running man. If you want me to get it poppin', may cost 100 pence. Yeah, what I supply is always in the man. The throne is mine, take that. It ain't a high five, got the upper hand. I'm too real, can't fake that. Who you know putting fear in them like this? You a vampire, still suck when you bite this. Lord forgive me for my sins, I'm feeling righteous. But they been next to me to show me I might just. They didn't think I could do it, I had to demonstrate how the flow is so heavenly, keeping demons straight. Who they fooling? I showed them the jig is up again. When I asked them who is the best, they get this to stuttering. Tell them.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning.
You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
I came this far, nothing can't stop me now. They knock me down, but they can't count me out. I can't lose, I won't lose. I can't lose, I won't lose. You may wanna save yourself. I think it's best you run away. I won't let you finish. When you came for me, you played yourself. You scream for help. It's a shame that nobody will hit me. No pain, no gain. Watch who you bang with. Make it to the top with the same ones I came with. I shoot my shot, you better know that I'ma never miss. When they coming for me, yeah, I'm gonna tell them this.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning, winning.
You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon'
Let's go. Welcome to the wonderful Devlin, aka CC, and CC_class. It's not CC exclusive anymore, mate. Welcome back. New name.
With the CC right here, bro. New name, new mic. We're coming back at it here, man. Happy to be back with it. And, you know, just trying to get into the swing of things here, get into the casting now that we finally got some upgrades. And I think we're ready to join in with the big leagues here, you know, at least on the occasional weekend and now again. But we've got big teams. I might have lost you, Mark. Not yet. No, you're good. You're good. But I'll say welcome in everybody here to the match of Miramar. As again, thanks for the invitation here from Mark. We got the scrims packing off right for you guys here. 17 teams and an amazing lobby, honestly, to get today started here. Playing path looking pretty similar to some that we've seen here, going in from that west hand side down to the east. Again, dropping off right above those islands and that very unplayable, unknown area of Miramar where nobody ever really gets to see except for the end of the playing path. And, that's just a great area, to say the least, for these teams to play from. And we're actually going to cut to break. We'll be back here in just a second, everybody. All right, and there we go. Sorry, just a little delay on the end of things here with Miramar, but we're back at it. Plane is left the air, and again, we ended right there at that east-hand side above the islands, as we have a couple of coaches going to take themselves out of the lobby here and get us to our particular players here. So we're looking at very centralized plane path here, like I said, and QM, the last to drop off in that, along with, it looks like, Fun. So few teams going to be having their opportunity to drop, and doesn't look like too many hot drops here. So with 17 teams, respectively, these teams are getting to land in their respected areas here. And again, just kind of give us 1 second. We're kind of working through some technical difficulties, trying to get things set and right for the stream as it's kind of resetting. There it goes. Looks like we're getting a little something and feedback coming in. So it looks like we're going to get this updated circle right now, with Los Leones being kind of the focus of that, with Cantera as well. And still trying to hit DA, coming in a great spot. SRM, Hal, now he spread out with some great power potential here throughout Minas. And then you've got Bum entering there on that northwest side there with PBC and Mix all the way at the top there. So those are our teams inside the zone. A few teams still having to make their way out of that. We'll see kind of what happens there, but we may have to get a little bit of a reset here so you guys can get a update on the stream. And right now it just seems that we're fighting through some internet issues here. So gotta love when the internet decides to cooperate with us. So as we kind of come through, we're still just kind of popping off, waiting for this potential plane. And we're going to take a little break, guys, and we'll be back here in just a little bit.
Okay, that's my bad. Sorry, CC. Yeah, a complete meltdown on a few bits and pieces. But the good news is we are back in. Welcome back. It's nothing to do with CC. I pressed something I shouldn't have pressed. My audio went and PUBG crashed, and it was like a not a mo effect, should I say? But welcome, CC. I know you said some kind words about me, and then I disappeared.
Oh yes. Yes. He's ready to come in. He's been bringing the heat. He's been all over the place here as far as the scene goes, from North America to South America to Europe, back to Asia,
mad,
back to.
That was mad. That was a mad weekend. I'm not gonna lie, mate. That was insane. I loved it. I loved every second of it as well. I'll be honest with you. But I definitely needed that Monday sleep. That was needed.
It's important sometimes too, you know what I'm saying, to recover and let the voice rest. Tea does so much, you know, and again, remedies to take the voice down, but there is just sleep. Sleep's a good thing.
Yeah, mate, sleep is definitely a good thing and a needed thing. Zone, I'll show that flight path. There wasn't a bad flight path really for game number one, so we could just catch up with things really here. But then obviously it bounces back, right? So we get this bottom side. Lost Leon's tinkering its way on the edge. That's not bad. I don't mind these style of zones because we have the capability. CC, if it pulls back towards Lost Leon, great. We see a couple of decision making, but it also can play very much to that west or very much to that north as well. So I'm interested to see what these teams decide to do, but we are making a clear decision here on actually who's doing what. Big difference in the IGLs already.
Definitely makes a difference on who's calling the shots here, and then you can your potential either shot caller or your fragger can play the way they want to play here. I mean, sometimes your fragger is your IGL, but when you have kind of a distinguished role for both, and you're able to just allow your IGL to put you guys in great positions, anchor your guys' players in, and it really does make the difference here. So we're watching, again, teams going to have to make a difficult rotation. 17 teams still moving into this phase, and not a whole lot of congestion or really noisy neighbors to kind of get involved here. We do have a few that are close to one another. Pop shots kind of going in, but somehow respectfully, everybody is still finding themselves a spot inside this zone, and minimal losses here. 3 players only down in a 17-team lobby. Is actually fantastic here. So you're talking about game knowledge, understanding where teams are rotating, and it looks like the homework was done here.
Yeah, it definitely was done. Just to confirm, there is a miscommunication on slot. So yeah, I can confirm those guys already noted it as well. So PBC is our polar bears, and our polar bears are our mix. But it's actually a lot more easier when it comes down to the esports server because we've got the tag. We've actually got the team tag. So obviously you'll see mix is Jam Mix Squad, and obviously we'll have the polar bears. They obviously with a PBC. But hey, we can get away with this one. I was going to confirm.
Hey man, Buster, the other day I had mine going. I had Weep and I want to say one of the other teams in a swap spot here, and it was like I had to question myself. I was like, why is Weep running this? Why is this clan? I was like, you know what? That's probably a CC mistake there.
Love it.
Again,
Nothing wrong with CC mistakes, mate. We miss them. You never have mistakes as well. Actually, let's be honest, mate. You're a man of perfection.
Flawless. Come on.
Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. So for esports, I had a good day yesterday. You put some big shots on the board. Question mark the same as these two teams.
Ooh, got some Dragunov pops happening over here.
I love that gun. What's your thoughts of that gun anyway?
Honestly, it's been a game changer. I didn't think it was going to make as much of a splash as it did, but once it dropped in, I mean, it was kind of like, here it is. Here's the Dragunov, and it's going to make some changes here. The Mini 14, which has been a huge, I think, use in this, it's kind of switched over. So Mini 14 users now kind of picking up that Dragunov. The SKS has kind of always been irrelevant in comp. It's either the SLR or nothing, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
now you have a Dragunov and SLR, so you kind of have more 7.62 opportunities to put that in. And at that 100-yard, range, honestly, it's done a lot. I've seen knock after knock happen with the Dragunov, from that 100 meters. And again, in those end game fights, that's a game changer.
It is. I think you put that on the head there, mate. End game fights, generally is a big hitter. And I've actually started to see people kind of not pick it up early game, but we find them sort of picking up maybe like mid to late game as those zones close down, as we get into that kind of one shot, one kill, and knocking those level 2 lids off. I think it's becoming a bit more of a trend. So, look, we've got PEC Fall, we've got the upper bracket kicking off shortly anyway. So, be interesting to see, is that going to be a trend? Is the Dragunov going to be the same?
The new shotgun meta.
Yeah, like, yeah, literally. It is literally like, you'll see people, like, for example, Fires, right? We're looking at Mad at the moment. We get to late game, if he finds that gun, if he finds that Dragunov, though, he knows if he gets those level 2 headies, yeah, they're gone. Like, so it's a really powerful gun in the right circumstance. But I also understand, when I was talking to some of the players about it, especially on some recent interviews, it was about, it's a good gun, Mark, but then basically we don't like the fire rate.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit slower on the fire rate. I mean, you don't expect that little delay. I think one of the longest delayed sniper rifles out there. If not, you kind of want to get that end of the curve, right? I mean, that's what players are used to doing, kind of tapping that faster flow of the Dragunov. Having that, I think, is the only downside. 100-meter, punch, dude. Like, you got to have some sort of trade-off.
Yeah, it is the good and the evil. My good and evil, no SRM, no big split for them, huge split for them actually. As I now settle down and realise that everything's under order, and we've got video, we've got audio back. CC's got a new mic. It looks like my mic as well. Massive. CC obviously was chatting about your mics and stuff like that, and you wanted to look, and you was asking about what I had, and lucky enough I had a little cheeky discount code. But
use it.
Use and abuse, mate. Use and abuse.
Mark Power.
Yeah, mate. Powercast discount codes. Let's go.
Let's go. Get them in.
It's a big mic, mate. It's a big changer. I still think they need to work a little bit on their software. But I think these were the guys we spoke about. These were the guys with the Go XR. Everyone's got Go XR. Get a Go XR. Go XR. The guys who made the Go XR broke away and made this mic and made this software. So I'm expecting really good things for quite simple. I'm no audio engineer, so I just need it simple.
Exactly. I want to plug and go. Maybe a little bit of download here to update this and update that. But yeah, I just want to plug, play, and go, dude. And that's exactly kind of how this thing works here. So good shout again. Beacon mics. Make sure if you guys are looking for something, fresh, a little bit in the Go XLR price range, but still super affordable. About say if you're looking to get into, this kind of casting, this kind of podcast type deal, you know what I'm saying? This is a very clean and, getting even the shout out for Mark himself, you know what I'm saying? Just notice the sound clarity is huge here. But game's going on, finally starting to get interesting. It looks like Mark, his team's finally rotating in. How full sends right past the Woo right now, and it looks like no opportunities to find the notch. Maybe the last person is gonna find one. Looks to come over the top and put the hurt
Two
on the Woo. Finds the second,
three.
the third.
Oh my days!
Just like that, the Woo.
Yeah, I love it. Ibby was the only one that took some fire. How did Nixie get away with that? He was right underneath him, and the hell just looked at Ibby and went, we're getting rid of you, mate. Zone, I think element that is because of the shift, and now we've got the sandstorm coming in. Pods are here, and Clip is already rotating his way around, but Rustamar, though, sneaking his way underneath the cover of darkness, the cover of the sandstorm, able to pick up his knock. Should be able to get the confirm here. The rest of the pod are further away. Don't worry about Picardo. It's more the later game I'm worried about now. So we're going to see these teams descend. Lucky enough, obviously, we did have that blip. We did have that descent. But after that, we were all good to go.
Jeez, that sandstorm is hurting. So many teams involved in that thing right now.
Can't see anything either. That's the problem. Like,
and that's where all the fighting's happening.
Yeah. Look at it. What's going on? What's going on, lads?
Somebody grab the veil out, get the sunglasses, because I can't see a dang thing here. Kino against all odds is trying to go against all odds in that sandstorm, trying to find his way in. The rest of FUT was caught out in that as well. Slowed down quite a few northern rotations there. The rest of those southern teams very secured already in their central positions, and a lot of players starting to lock down where they're going to play for the end game here, but SLD, not one of those. We can see Mix trying to full send in between all, and then as well as FUT, and against all odds, he's going to find a nice little opportunity.
1-2.
One finds two. Silers Is he gonna close the door, take the Molotov out, trying to deny? He's
Oh,
going
he
down in a blaze.
sends him. He sends him. He like, I've got boys up. I know you haven't. I'm sending you out. Mix, deny. Silence though. What a flaming victory as he comes out from the fire, puts down 2, and he says, "Do you know what? I'm not gonna give you the opportunity to get any boys res. I'm just sending myself to the grave."
Like, that was absolutely cracked from Silers. Didn't need the Molotov, but just to secure the kill right there, was willing to go down, and with the sacrifice of that huge from Silers here. Checking back in with Rustamar coming out of Picado. He's still fighting his way in. Faris and the rest of Navi fighting their fight over here on the side. There's left up to Alia inside the shack there, trying to find his way into the fight here, as he does have an opportunity. He's going to open up. Nades coming to try to delay the inevitable thirst here, but it looks like Nades going to buy this flush as he does get the 1v1. Soast is going to put some much needed shots to delay Alia out of the shack here. A couple other teams still rotating. SLD still not quite inside the zone. PBC as well here at the top, as these two teams still trying to find their way into this northern part of the zone in phase 4. 20 seconds, really starting to limit that time clock and make things that much more difficult. Utils there, the nades, but now it looks like the backfill, the force end is going to be from SLD, and they should be able to make their way just outside of Picado, but they've got 2 other teams looking to do this similar rotation. And once Picado in phase 4 starts to get pushed out, it's really going to get very congested inside this zone. 13 teams, 45 players going into phase 5 here.
It's a difficult zone, this one. You're right. The shift coming out of Picado is going to force... Well, look, we know it's not going to end there most of the time, right? Give or take. But because obviously saw teams like BBL rotate, they went to go take on Pod. They're going to get clear now. They're going to come up. We're going to see teams in the middle like Sleep Dodgers. They're just going to get squeezed in. Now, don't forget, for those that have just joined us, as you're looking at what's Jam Mix, they were in the wrong slots. We do need to change it after, which we can do. Leave them be. But they're the Polar Bears. These guys are a new team. No, I see Avax and Vixen. Marsex and TGs is all well-known players themselves, but obviously now they're going underneath this sort of Polar Bear chasers, so PBC. Just keep an eye out for that one. You know what, I said to these guys earlier, Bumble Squad, I love this logo, mate. I said to him, like, GG's, like, this is I like it. I think it's, I like simplicity when it comes down to logos.
Simplicity, but clean and effective here. I mean, it reminds me like a Transformer logo here as these guys pop out, and if that's the direction they were going, it's got me all inclusive here. Esqui with a nice nade, looking to confirm what's left of the J-Mix squad here. PBC in a rough spot, and it looks like that nade not going to confirm, but at least putting the pressure where it needs to be. And Ufax fight at least one of these players off to put some points on the board before J-Mix gets eliminated here, as they do have 1 down inside the blue zone, so that should be at least 1 kill point. 1 more, I'm sure, wouldn't hurt for Pooh to grab, but no, Esqui with the full squad wipe is going to take down all of J-Mix right there. 4 kills in the bag right there for Bumbles, and not only do they have a great logo, but it seems they've got themselves a great player as well.
Yeah, good push there. Our new boy for Navi is down. I don't think I see him get a rest here. I know it's in a bad spot. This is a difficult zone because we're going to see the high ground sort of leave, and with the team sitting on the outside, it's all about that. And then obviously Bumbles are going down. This is teams fighting for a little bit of outside edge. Interestingly, no one sits in the middle. Navi's going to take the extent over and find maybe a bit of attention. Looks like a counter-action pass here. Good play though from WLA. We are live again. Join they are live with that push. Alia got meds, but he's unable to get it on. Sees the head pop by. Obo just strolls on, mate, like it's Sunday morning. How he goes in. They've not even checked downstairs at all.
And looks like the neighborhood just not understanding where they're, you know, where this guy's kind of standing. He's got his house. He's got it figured out. He understands how to play the house here, and he's going to end up coming out, finding one,
Oof.
going for the flush, but then before he can get turned around, they're inside as both players. There's a nice little send, and the res next to impossible, but he's going to stick it there with about 2 HP in the board here. Up top, the last member of We Live Again is going to get the remaining 2 players of Wu trying to rotate back into the zone to regroup as a full 4. And it looks like that is going to happen there as Ibiza able to pull away over to Nixie's position here, and actually have themselves still up as the full 4. 6 kills on board after finding a nice rotating howl, and now they have themselves a nice secured position over in that eastern part of the zone there. Down to the south, though, looking to creep in on DA's territory here. You've got Happiness, and it looks like very, very passive. He's got some ridge to work with. If he can just find his way up and over into DA's territory here, can definitely keep them on the outer edge there. But SRM's in a great spot, really central position and hard cover inside the zone. But up top, BBL not really feeling the same love.
Tough for BBL though, right? They're going to try and get themselves out of a dip. They've made the choice to come into sort of Bacada. They took the fight. They cleared the fight under the cover of the Sandstorm. Now, the teams either side, MK is coming from Hugh, DA. Then we've got Sleep Dodgers. Now they've already, I suppose, returned the cats back the other way. But with that, they've still got such a huge mountain to climb. And Sleep Dodgers one way, DA the other. They kind of rely on other teams like SRM taking those knocks and those confirms, taking the attention slightly away. I can tell you what though, CC, it's going to be so difficult for BBI to get out of here. They have to rely on their smokes, they rely on the pressure. Ristamar Michael, final 2 now remain. 4 kills on the boards. And SRM have got full control of this one. I think they just want to bully everyone on the outside just to get these kills.
Looks like so far so good. SRM, you know, trying to hold tight in that security of their compound there. Is a good shot for Kill. Is going to find Michael.
Oh my
to confirm him there.
Whew.
Rustamar tries to fight off a good fight there. Does find some good headies, but few HP in the board right there. Going to leave SLD on the board right there. Down to the south, it is Pacific Esports trying to get into it with those 4 players from the Woo sitting on 6 kills. Nade comes in, looking to find Nixie. He's in between both players there. As Svetlana should be able to put on some hurt right here. Looks like the stun catches Svetlana. Check ready to put on some hurt in the defense, but not going to be there. Stun finds one. Explosion is going to confirm, I believe, but no, not confirmed just yet. Celtic next to no HP. Svetlana dancing, bouncing, is going to be able to knock down and confirm her kill onto Nixie here. And now is it going to be able to reset to find the final member of the Woo? Shots coming in from the third party, and it is Svetlana through the smoke. Blind fire. Woo, 1 member left alive, and it is the test of
Fuzzface
right here. And,
so everyone, obviously the test account is Fuzzface. Well, he's confirmed up for the Woo set. Just confirmed that he's him playing. So yeah, ES underscore test dash PLH. That's our Fuzzface.
Okay, Fuzz joining the roster here on the Woo. That's going to be a nice little addition. Is going to find some return damage. Finds Hello My Bad. Leaving the rest of the Sleep Dodgers here. Trying to finish on the fight here with WLA. That nade should buy them enough time for the res, but you do have the auditioning Fuzzface there over trying to get these knocks. Paying attention to this fight as well. So being the solo player from the Woo, still capitalizes some points there off to the side. As again, 7 kills on the board here. We Live again, still trying to find their way into that next zone. SLD right behind the solo. There's quite a few solos left in the zone here. SRM did full send, at least Baron. Peek's going to kind of do what he can do inside the zone securing position, but Happiness in the fight right now with the remaining 2 DA members.
Quite difficult to fight on the south. I'm quite surprised. Diffix is such a mechanically gifted player. Good clear from Happiness. He should have stayed tight with his team. He should have continued with that push going through. And I think we would have seen Woo definitely stronger up coming into these sort of later games, but now they find themselves down to that final player, Fuzzface being that individual. He was holding, for me, the anchor. He was holding this sort of north side, stopping any team wrapping him behind. Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe a bit of miscommunication, as he kind of had to rotate out, didn't he? And then it just, I think if Diffix was there, it would have been a different ending, I felt, for the Woo.
Definitely could have been the way they took that fight, you know, against... I said they had power in numbers, but Svetlana was just kind of able to dance around, use that smoke to her advantage, and it just paid off right there. Sometimes it's the footwork, and you got to credit that. You can put up the good fight, play the teamwork here, but sometimes the response time of these players is just so good. I mean, I try to time myself on the response of seeing the player to actually getting the knock, and these guys are just like instantaneously locking on, dude, like crazy. Like look at this. There it is again, that peak just comes there instantly. Not only does she get the peak, but the return peak comes in as well. And just shots on both angles. The nades, the util dump starting to come out here. As it looks like this fight could be over before we know it here. But putting up a good fight, trying to delay the inevitable fight with Happiness. Maybe some third-party help from SRM to step in. But Happiness using the Ridge, their advantage. They're going to come over, close that out with Svetlana. PCF down in 5th, down to 4 teams here in Phase 6. As we wait for that Phase 7 pop, we're getting into the final moments here of this zone.
SRM have been just on that compound outside that Picardo. So only picked up 2 kills. Happiness obviously working their way around. The main ones really to talk about at the moment is Sleep Dodgers. They've been in the thick of it. They've had to hold out teams. They've kind of puffed out their feathers to try and stop anyone coming close to them. And same with the Woo, really. They've been on the other side of this road, on the south side, causing damage, causing issues. And as a result, they got the kills, but now they find themselves a little bit short of zone and down some numbers. SRM with a 4, Happiness with a 3, Sleep Dodgers technically a 3, and the Woo with 1. But Fuzzface might be trying to change this outcome, though. He's launching over another nade. That's a good nade. Comes a little bit short. Again, he needs to think about how he gets into zone.
Continue to try to find his way in. SLD 10 kills. You know, I don't want to say they've been quiet here, but they've had a difficult game. This has not been given to them. They've really worked hard for all 10 of these kills here upon rotation, upon taking fight after fight after fight, continuously pushed out of the zone. And there they are again, top edge of the zone right there, having to fight their way in one more time here against SRM. Baron was the initial player from SRM to find their way into that zone there and just lock them in a position, and that should be able to keep SLD out. But they do have that solo Fuzzface still sitting on the ridge there, and that's going to make things that much more challenging for them in order to get this fight. So there he is inside the vehicle. He's going to full send, try to find himself position in, but it's all going to come down to timing here.
It is all about timing. As I just have a look at that and try and change it. And as I bounce back, Space will go down. Happiness, though, has the ridge. They have the zone. The SRM, Sleep Dodgers, we might even see Happiness get the 3B roll over. Big 2-2 split from them. Happiness will stop this. Fuzzface might just run over a couple, but he will just skim old by. As SRM will just double back and have a look at this, though. Sleep Dodgers lose another one, though. Alex down to one as Finner. He's the only one able to try and hold this one. Anybody is going to push forward, try and get some information now. The deployable shields really come into play. SRM launch any kind of util they've got. And Sleep Dodgers, I suppose, have been unable to push forward, so they've not been able to gain what they conquered. But they are going to go down and out. Here we go. It's down to the final couple here. SRM might be able to get at least some of the reses back on. His Happiness haven't really pushed over. The closest player for us, though, is far around this side. And won't be long before he peekaboos up, but SRM, it's going to be a matter of timing.
And I really thought that was going to go in SLD's favor. The initial knock from Salik there to find that nade on the 2 just could not find their way up and over the ridge as the third-party shots were raining in. That was about to be bad for SRM there, but good response from Happiness. You owe them at least, a pizza delivery here later on if you guys are going to take home this W. But it looks like Happiness Mad is going to find his way down. He's going to kind of take the position of SLD there, and they're probably not expecting to be on that off angle considering they just took care of that SLD squad. So if you can hang tight and find a way to stay quiet enough, could easily rip the rug from underneath SRM here. It's all going to come down to how they take the rotation. But right now, they're kind of planning for the full send. And, as it looks, smoking out across the way, they're going to plan to find that little dip. And if they pull up in that dip the way that I think they are, this is going to spell madness for Happiness. But no, it's fooling around. They are still going to get caught off in the back because they're going to have an anchor player now down at the bottom here. 3 SRM come in, the anchor down at the bottom, and it's Baron to hold, Mad to hold, the 3 up top, and right now, from that anchor play, Mad's going to come out. Shilla does put the response to nade, trying to come in as the flush does come through from Modic. Now trying to find the remaining 2 players here at the top there. They have taken care of that flank player at the bottom. It's coming down to a 2v2 here at the top, and then Baron down at the bottom.
Yeah, good play. I think we wanted him to rotate the other way, let's be honest. Didn't quite let go away, but did make it work. Just didn't have the cover then because he's so far open. That's Happiness, though, looking back the other way, trying to counteract that response. We are going to see. Temment is such a strong player. We've seen him work really well. Nice push on the other side, though, trying to stop any sort of play over the top, though. Goes down to that final player, though. Happiness, though, not having too much of a happy ending here. 5 kills on the board, and SRM hammering the fist home. Looks like it's going to be an SRM win. There we go. Winner, chicken dinner. SRM, they're going to take game number 1 this evening. Actually, it's not a bad game. 8 kills, 18-point game. A clean chicken dinner on the board for them. Winner, chicken dinner. Dodgers, though, they're pretty much capitalized up on everything else. And as we bring back to cams, it means I need to restart the game pretty quickly. We've got to shift these teams around. Not a bad game, though, CC, if I'm honest with you. Zone didn't really help a lot of people. Saw them get caught. And then, obviously, as the descent eventually happened out, good play. SRM working their way, working their magic. And no surprise, being center of zone, didn't really pick up too many kills early on.
Like I said, still hammering in. Like I said, at the end of the game there, it wasn't that they didn't take fights. They just couldn't take fights. Most majority of the teams were at that northern end of the zone and weren't really finding their way in there. So, a much deserved game. They were able to make the best of their position, SLD, hats off to you guys as well. You know, you see them in the leaders right there, you see them taking a lot of the damage. WLA put in some good fights as well. You know, there's just a lot of action and intensity going on there. But SLD, to fight yourselves in, you know, through and through the zone, you know, there was quite a few teams on that northern part of the zone that you guys had to work your way through to put those points on the board right there. And these are the games that you remember. These are the games as a team start to build that unity right there. So continue to put those in the books, and we'll see where the rest of the day takes.
Yeah, good game. Let's have a quick break though, as I am restarting the game, generating the new thing. Hopefully I get it right. It's pretty quick. I think I got it right. But we'll see all you guys though. It's gonna be game number 2. I think we might be blessed with Gibson Castle. If he does join in, he'll jump in and we'll see the R2 boxes go, and then he's kind of slots in. But for now, let's take a quick break. Apologies for the first game. I'll see you guys in round number 2. Here we go, guys. It's a map number 2. as we will roll our way in. Tego is the one, not for Kendi. Don't know what's going on with the map order, but there's something going on. But I'll tell you what's going on really bad, CC, and that's his flight path. What a shocker.
GG. You're taking out all of that west side of the map right there. Hopefully you don't like Hapo, Hamusa, or Wall Song, as that's completely out of the picture here. Hosan Prison. I'm sure nobody's going to mind not being able to visit the prison. You know, maybe a couple of people out there, but somewhere I'll tend to avoid. As we look at this plane path, not friendly. We got some planes going in the air. We've got Tego, and it looks like for the time being, maybe some potential hot drops going towards Hosan. I see a lot of congestion there, but I tend to see that time to time here on Tego. I don't know about you, Mark, and then they just somehow end up
Dissipating.
Freedom.
Yeah, they
right.
just dissipate. The only thing I'd say, though, is because the flight path in the zone not connected anymore, mate. So maybe we're going to see it bounce somewhere a bit mad, but wait and see. There's so many. Look at the colour in the middle there. Our polar bears are right, though. We got that sorted. They got that logo on.
It's not even a pretty color in the middle. I mean, it just looks like chaos. Come on here. Break it away, break it away. There's the zone pop, and we've got the north-south. Tego in it. Oh, chasing the vehicle there. He's trying to get his way in. POD landing in the back. Oh.
Nope.
Yep, nope. Reconsider.
I'm out.
Yep, okay.
I doubt they will fight each other early on. They are in the zone. They normally let each other go, but because there's these two down here, maybe we might get a little bit of a cheeky. He is going to go from
Schofield.
Got them out! Oh, squished him down! Oh, he doesn't even flush him! Let's go for it. We get some loot. Maybe he won't flush him. Maybe he will. Yes, he will. Down! Schofield, little cheeky devil. Love it. Oh, there's more action on the other side, though. PLA's Pro League card, mate. Can never disappoint. D under action, though, as we do see Ibby and Nixie is down. Yeah, it looks like they're going to clear their compound. If you just get there in there. Not great time. What's face though? He's driving around a little bit. He's having a dream, and I do feel for him, mate. He's having to keep us casters asking 100 questions like, "What's the map rotation if we're not doing two Vikendis? Can we restart the game? Please, sorry for us." So I do feel for him. Yeah, ES test is Fuzzface though. Massive pickup though for Wu. Such a decent player, great streamer. Always entertaining. He's one of the streamers I've always generally got like a tab on. I'm generally listening to. I'm working from home if he is live in the day.
Yeah, definitely one of the ones you can count on to keep you entertained, especially throughout the day. And here's SLD trying to keep us entertained. They've lost one already. One's knocked into place. Moss trying to find his way around. I think he's going to stick the Reds here, but how continuing their charge and finding the remaining three players of SLD. This potential fight could close out before you know it, but looks like the Reds is going to stick through. Salik going to have the opportunity to run across the street now, but Howell's on the push. The shotgun is in play.
Oh!
Over the wall. The Mad tries to find a nice little cheeky jump shot right there with the shotgun, but denied from the Moss board right here. Salik does find his way at least halfway across. Still not getting involved in these fights just yet. Not having an angle to find Howell. Does see Ruben at least, but still not able to find that off angle. So still in a 2v2 fight here with the rest of Moss right now. From the back, in comes, I want to say, Ruin. And unfortunately thinner there for the response. Now Salik steps into the fight. Schofield knocked, and Howell had the initial first knock, had the initial second knock, and now regrouping as a three-man here. SLD puts the hurt onto Howell, finds all three players, leaving them down to the solo here. And I don't even think the solo's involved. No, Laza's actually way away from the fight here inside the buggy, so that's going to be it for the three players on Howell after finding one of SLD.
Oh, talk about going in hard.
Yeah, really, though, really. I mean, both teams, and you want to talk about some revenge. It was served up quick there.
Yeah, really, really strong. It was aggressive as well. SRM are coming down, so it's a bit of an element now of having to ensure that's make enough noise. But the problem is this compound is quite a key compound. You might find some teams having to crash in and maybe get more aggressive.
Yeah, so now it's like they may have bought themselves some extra time here. Laza finds the knock onto one. The nade's there from the second. Now going to be an immediate 1v1. What a nade! Literally hatched that sucker right there in order to take him down. That's going to be Howell down and out with a beautifully tossed nade from our winning team, SRM, securing themselves another centralized compound here in the zone, looking for that end game and starting to set up for success here. Down to the south teams rotating in. I want to say, is that Happiness coming off our second place team, driving right past SLD here. And it looks like 10 Meat is actually going to stop and decide whether or not he wants to get involved in the fight. Takes a few pop shots over the top. Motique is going to kind of peek over that as well, and they're going to forfeit off this fight, realizing, again, this is the southern side compound. Not the most opportunistic to gain here, so they're going to refocus their attention on a different compound. Slow vehicle, though, may not be the best thing to rotate in.
It is going to be an interesting zone. Need to check. You sure you got no sound coming out loud? Because there is a slight. You can hear me slight, very very slight.
Let me turn you down on my headset. You could just be super loud in my ears.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm deaf. I'm deaf.
No, I tell you what. I should be able to have a quick look. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, very slight. It does come on very slight. I'm gonna put a compressor on my side. It should be okay. Don't
Check
worry.
it again right now.
Test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Test. We're all good. That's good.
All right, perfect. Yeah. It's all right. I just had to turn it down. I'm deaf.
All good. Oh, sorted. Thanks, Ram, for letting us know.
Yeah, GG's. Like I said, new mic, new test stuff going on here. This is only the second stream I've used the mic, so please give us the feedback here. I don't want to ruin any type of quality here on Mark Power Cast Bus because this guy is absolutely crazy.
Can't do that, mate. You can't do that, mate. You're pro. Look, let's
You know, hey, this is the guy, right? This is the legend. This is the guy that's everywhere. So, I'm just making sure when it comes through, the quality is great. And just like Navi, making sure when they come through, they're going to put those bullets right where they need to be there. 10 Meat is trying to backpedal off this fight here as they lose one upon rotation, not finding anywhere to go inside the zone here. Down to 3 players there. They will have to lose Madden. And it looks like our remaining 2 players from the Woo going to get involved with 2 players from FUT. I want to say that's T-Bone across the street. Yeah,
Nice.
here for FUT. And it looks like he's going to step into this little 2v2, maybe get some help from the remaining 2 players. They do have support, but right now just kind of spreading the power here throughout phase 1. Everybody's trying to get comfortable. Everybody's trying to find, I like this split from FUT. They've got the north side, they've got the south side, and we see it oftentimes pull up to that Young Chion side with a hard north pull. So again, FUT's just kind of playing the inevitable here and planning out for the late game here. If they lose 2, they lose 2. If they don't, they'll be ending up rotating 4 either here, whether or not the zone goes north or south.
I think a lot of this is to do with design. It always seems to pull back towards that river side. So yeah, good split actually for really the only team doing this at the moment, or going for a bit of a more risky play. They got Overwatch, and I suppose in the other advantage is they don't know who the other team is. So whereas we can hide out as a 2, if they get a knock there, we might see a bit of a different change of tack from 30 Sports, especially if they've been reading the kill feed, because they might want to make more of an aggressive push over and in towards that team. For now, I'm going to have to wait for the zone to go. What they do, go across. BBL are the other team that is situated up there. A little bit of space that's been generated now with 15 teams on the board and 55 players left. There's no one else really lurking on the outside. Well, get the opportunity to have a waffle about zones and stuff like that. I will get the commands up because obviously normally on Twitch there's a short command. I am running a private fantasy league for PC and for PAS CC, and we're going to open up. We open it up so you can now get involved even at the group stages, right? So get yourself in. I'll send you links if you want it. Drop me a DM or I'll pop it in chat in a second. But the exciting news, as soon as I got off the stream yesterday, Mercy Gaming messaged me and said they want to put up some prizes for the final. So we're going to do some fantasy league for the upper brackets and the round of 16 regionals for PAS. But when we get to the finals, we're going to reopen them, refresh them, and we're going to try and get some, well, we've got some prizes up for grabs already. So I think there's some merch from Mercy Gaming. They're going to go speak to some more of their contacts as well, see what we can get on the board. Have a bit of fun. I wouldn't mind doing a few bits around it. If we might do a couple of streams and look at your squads, have a talk about your squads and who you've picked and how your points are doing. So if you haven't already, get involved. I'll get you the links in stream shortly. CC, you need to be involved.
Cool to be involved.
You need to get involved, bro.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you need me, man. Busta, feel free to throw me the invite, dude. Like I said, I'll come in, I'll help. Like I said, I got questions. Like I said, we can always come in. I had an interview with Babbler from Orion.
Nice.
And it was actually really, really entertaining to get to talk to Babbler and kind of see their take on where they're at, and kind of it's a newer player roster for Orion. They've been around for quite some time, so there's just teams out there. And like I said, dude, if you need the help, brother, just reach out. I'm there for you.
They played really well. They came out on round of 16 really aggressive, which was good to see. I always worry with Orion. They always leave it to the last minute, and I don't think they have any issue with me telling them. But it's especially with the round before 32, left it to the last day. Now they did put free chicken dinners on on the back burner for it. So GG's, well done. But yeah, I talking to RJ, I was like, you guys just can't come out like that. You've got to get aggressive. Every round is getting harder. In this is why I love PEC. This is why I love PAS, because every step, the next step that you make in the tournament is another step. And I also, it's definitely worth noting the players that are coming in, the invited teams. They're not warm up like some of these other teams. So yeah, you might have had to go through a couple of like steps. You might have. We've had to go through a few bits and pieces, but it's all down to actually you're not as warm as some of these teams.
Yeah, you're active. These teams that have just qualified us are coming in off of the most recent hot drops in games, so it's going to be really interesting to see how PEC and PAS definitely come into play there. But FUT getting really advantageous here. You know, that 2-2 split paying off for them, as we did see the zone still keeping the north side, the south side as well. FUT and Woo both down there to the south. Still getting involved in that fight. We've got WLA and SRM. SRM, our winners of last game, looks like starting to pop off here. And if they closed out SRM here, could potentially put them in a good direction to win this game here. WLA had some of the top leaderboard stats there and had a great game. Unfortunately, we're taken down. There's Shilla. He's going to open up, trying to find some shots. Zoom on the drive-by, trying to find him as well. 55 needs one more to connect, but hello, my bad from the side. We'll get that. A little bit of a drunk camera right there.
That was on the wonk, mate.
That was a little wonky there, but you love it. And now WLA forcing SRM out of the position here right there. POD with some third-party shots coming in, trying to find what they can scab out of the fight. Driving into the direction of SLD here. SRM not having a great spot, really to kind of forfeit two. It's a matter of where these guys are going to stop. And again, there's just so many congested zones now inside this zone. Here comes the creeping
Oh,
DCF,
face.
the Woo.
Oh, shotgun Templar. He's got a shotgun in his hand. Who's doing him? No, let him in. No.
Denied entry.
I like how they're using the smokes, though. They're stopping the ability to have a little look round. They're stopping the ability to like pop shots in. But we need to worry about our polar bears. Those they are on the outside. Double MK in hand. Oh my. Polar bears, go back to the Kendi, mate. Get back to the ice. This is disgusting.
Coming in, coming around. They're really just starting to showcase and encase this entire compound here. Just two members of FUT. Actually, the third does join the party here, so they're trying to get involved and make sure this can go, as actually all four members have joined. So FUT joining up as a full sense across, trying to put the hurt on. The nades doing the damage, but just not finding the knocks. HC is finally going to go down there. This is SLD from the off angle right there getting involved as well. There's just so many teams involved in this fight. Up to the top is SRM, could easily start to take these shots as well. But for right now, it's the immediate teams inside the compound not really finding the knocks. They're doing the damage, but the knocks are going the other. There's another one. That one looks good. The blue zone kind of times him out from having to run into the next room here. So Buzzface doing a lot of movement to try to keep himself alive inside the compound and somehow still on his feet here.
Oh, unlucky. Fact, though, just off on the shots, and somehow the Woo surviving. I like the aggressive stance here. And Polar Bears, though, Vixen is moving his way in. He's doing that. Look at that. Oh, he's been caught. He's dropped a nade as well. So he's going to go down. The zone now shifts away. The Woo still keeping alive. They've obviously get the knock. But what's the steal? That's our sleep dodges, though. Deep and sink down and out. Confirmed, though. Esports down to a 3. Ooh, now a 2. They're going to again deny information. Looks like Esther and they do go down as they get caught across the other side. Vard's going aggressive here at the moment, trying to get rid of the U2. They do lose another one as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Woo maybe look at this and go, do you know what? We might want to get a little bit aggressive on this one. We see they've gone down again, and this is heavy in the middle as well. Look at this. DA, Sleep Dodgers going at it. Bottom side, though, we've got the Impact, though, and Na'Vi have gone down to their solo player as well. So Na'Vi really not been able to keep numbers alive so far in Game 1 and Game 2. They're having to fight things out as a solo. Pick up another knock.
There it is.
ECF, though, on the fight the other way. Let's tab up a few of these fights. We'll go back and we can swing our way around. Try and catch as much action as we can. Go from there.
It's looking right now. Finally, PBC sending their anchor player to get involved in the close fight here. Somehow, some way, Woo is just still alive inside this compound here. I have no idea how they've managed to live so long inside here. But now the collapse coming in here as Mech and Dark is going to find Beamy. He's going to find some confirms there, but somehow the Woo still inside, and they're going to still live, but down goes Fut on the outside of things here. Shotgun still in the hands of Fuzzface there as Marge trying to defend the res here on his teammate here. The Polar Bears are just coming through mob style here to clean up the rest of this fight here. Fuzz cannot find the opportunity to find the shotgun play. There it is. Peeks out, finds one, flushes the second, pushes to the AUG, goes for the peek, gets some good shots. He's going to bounce back, going for the flush, and he's going to get the final member of the Polar Bear squad here, and somehow the last squad in the fight is still the first squad eliminated. T-Bone getting the pickup from Vard and Fut, and Woo somehow inside this compound alive amongst all this chaos.
Insane.
Jesus. What is happening here? What is,
look at
what is
DA
in this
though.
compound?
DAs are getting
Fut says they've had
freebie.
enough.
Well, Foot, though, don't forget, had 2-2 split, obviously, with the fight coming down, with them finding out Woo. They've obviously pushed over, they've collapsed it down, eventually they've been picked apart. And actually, it's not so much about the Woo picking them apart, it was teams from the behind him. They just didn't close it out quick enough.
DA was a huge help once they took care of SLD, but now DA's got their attention right on to Fut, right on to Woo, and look at the power, look at the spread they've got going on. You can see on that mini map of Mark's screen down to the bottom right, it's spread, the power's there, and Woo's going to have a very tough time rotating out of here. Vard does have the vehicle, but still going to make a tough rotation as Navi example does take care of the rest of PCF there coming out of Terminal, so that fight finally closed out there, and Navi at least able to hang tight with 2 members still up. Now looking at DA still just raining the shots on our 2 finishing teams come out of the compound there. They've got this control of the zone once they take care of Fut and the Woo. And this is going to be BBL's chance to full send across the bridge now. Yeah. Still a couple of teams down in the south as well, Marcus. We've got PCF and a couple other solo players down there at the south here. But we're going to watch BBL take this rotation across the bridge.
Yeah, they're going to try and find someone to go. I was surprised they actually get this way. I thought they were going to do a hard left and down. They've actually put themselves in not a bad position. So does need to keep himself alive. He's one of those final players, shotgun template, aka Fuzzface, the insane man. And we need to slide. There we go. See with though, down for 2. You know, having a little look where that last player went. Diffixo does get back, gets him with the last couple of shots, and ever closing. We are seeing BBL work their magic.
Looking in, dancing, trying to find his rhythm, trying to find something. Ooh, BBL from the side steps in. That's going to be a big help for Fut. Nade's coming in from the top. DA trying to take care of what's left inside the smoke, but it looks like not able to find the right angle on that nade. In comes BBL. Michael trying to find some shots here on the DA as well. So now it's going to be BBL here to the north. DA on the east side here, and the solo 2 members of Fut trying to find their way in. That smoke is providing cover for now. The util is going to eventually take them out of play here. That one looks good from Smash. Does a lot of damage here. One more nade could close them out, and there it is from Smash. T-Bone to get knocked. A third to maybe finish up the follow-up there as T-Bone confirmed. Vard still left alive, and he's going to try to find his way around the smoke here. And so far, so good. It's I don't know how they've lived this long on borrowed time. So, Fut, my hat's off to you guys. It looks like 2 phases ago, you guys could have been done. But you guys put up a great fight. No matter the amount of points you guys got, this has been an absolutely great match for you guys to put in the books just as far as survivalists. You want to talk about PUBG at its best here. You guys aren't just taking fights for fights. You guys are making the plays to get in and survive here. And sometimes that's the hardest part of the game here.
It is a bit of a harder part of the game. BBL played it well. They played it, I don't want to say passive, that's the wrong word. They've played it very controlled. I think it's a better terminology behind it. So we're holding that top side. They forced pod over. They took a kill on pod. They then worked their way around to the town. And then once they were clear and the zone shifted over, they held an anchor and a free push. They knew they can go around and use this ridge to their advantage. And Michael picks up the last one. Vard is down and out, 9th place. We will make our way in towards the point pot. Let us know again, obviously, chat, keep us posted as things move up and down. I think I'll turn myself down slightly. Nice. Again, there's been so much action. There's been no time this zone yet. So you see that I can actually go, oh, I need to just look at this. Let me just monitor the audio or monitor that. YouTube is a bit of a different beast.
Consistent, pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a mad game, should we say?
Yeah, nonetheless, that's Tego, man. That's Tego. There is no calm Tego. There is no understanding the assignment. There is no little this, little that. Like, it just goes from 0 to 100 real quick, and then does not stop here. Watching Happiness full send again. Look at how congested this south side of the zone has been. These three teams basically coexisting with each other until right about now. And look at Thinner. No, don't run him over. Oh, barely surviving. No, don't get up. He gets up. He's getting involved. Takes the opportunity. Finds the knock. Looks for the third player there to the side, but nice little response there. Not even from SLD, or sorry, not even from Happiness, from QM. From the side, QM is going to find that knock and take down SLD right there. Again, that's off Angle's third party. The push now coming in from PCF, or excuse me, from the Mix squad. As Mix going to jump in, smoking out, trying to find the res. 3 players left up in a much better game this time around, but still not able to find the kills in rotation as QM starting to power up on the west side. All 4 there. The east side will be taken by DA here, and Happiness finally going down there to the final member of QM. A doozy takes down Effect right there. Motor coming in. And unfortunately, that one was for the eliminated squad there. Could have been huge. Could have been on to J-Mix, but nope, J-Mix left one lead alive, and it is needed.
A non-stop fight here. BBL wrapping back round the other way now. Question mark pushed down towards that southwest corner. Does give him the opportunity. Question mark is down. BBL already picked up one here. Nice little peekaboo here from Smash. As Clip does work. 3 Famas in hand. Famas MK is a bit of a dangerous one. He can hear the shots though, and there he goes. Famas hits hard. He just hasn't got the depth of the mag, but when you got a player like Clip, you don't need that depth of the mag at all. Put down not just the 1 but the 2. They will clear out the complete side there. Question mark, go aggressive. They're going to try and get on towards these knocks already, as the barrage of smoke will be a little bit of an indication. And Nate goes through the middle.
Bounced it off his head right there. About to a little bit of pizzazz and style points coming out. That one should close him out. If not, there's another right behind it. Dante with 2 kills on the board there. QM 9 all day. Now in our top 3 teams as J-Mix gets eliminated there. DA, BBL, and question mark. And the question is, who's going to take home this game? 3 squads, 2 of them with 4-man, and then a 3-man here for BBL here. But you've got Michael, Clib, and Smash here with some excellent util. The last bit of hard cover here in the north and then the last bit of hard cover in the south, both going to get pushed out with that zone. And now we're down to that Tago terrain where you have the hillside there going to be working for QM and DA, and then you're going to BBL with the most, I want to say, with the most difficult position there, trying to play the ridge from where they're at. It's going to be a tough rotation for BBL here.
Yeah, it's a tough rotation, especially with that zone now pops away. The only advantage they've got is Phil is here, right? But if they move quick enough, they'll only be picking up 1 gun, so they've got the opportunity to get moving quite quickly. If they've got the car, I don't know if they've got the ability to rotate. They've got 1 here. Smash though, having a look at the above, so using the height of the building, I just need to look across down towards that sort of west hand side, and we'll be able to pick up the QM fire and barrage. They are working their way back. QM need to also think about how they play this. It's 4v4v3. And I think the fight for the hill, it won't be starting just yet. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a delayed reaction. As it looks like DA and question mark. I'm going to try and punish our team BBL. They are stuck in the compound. I think there was initial shots. It should be a matter of now getting the car and rotate.
So far, so good. Looks like QM. Again, everybody kind of had a stalemate. It's more about gathering the information, setting up for the late game, and deciding where you're going to play at from here. Again, opportunities are there. BBL's almost giving away some free kills there with that slowdown right there, but here they are. They're going to find their way, and I thought I heard a bike coming out as well as Michael full sends there with the bike. Pulls up onto QM first in the vehicle. He's going to get himself out of there, realizing that BBL wants to take care and wants to take this position. And the best send, a doozy from the side, finds 1, finds 2, and then the third taken care of by the instant player right there. That is first, as well as a doozy coming in to find 3 more kills to close out BBL there. Again, with a difficult rotation, they make the best play that they could, but the response was immediate from QM to take them down. And now we have DA versus QM here in the final fight. Both 4v4 if they can stick this res here down to that solo player at the rock there. And it looks like it's going to be hard, but I think the res is in play.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just have a look there. I go back to a 4v4 now. Now, question mark seems to have a barrage of fire. BA pretty stacked as well, but I am fearful of the Oh, huge wrap. Oh, he gets answered 3v3. Diego down to a 1. It's a doozy. Swings a double bubble on that P90. That is, it doesn't recoil at all. Honestly, I thought the bullets were whipping past my ear in Essex from it. Big play. Oh, nearly runs him over. I think he thought he was getting run over.
Is he gonna beam him?
Oh, I got him.
Ooh, he's got him.
Nade,
Pro,
maybe.
the snake in the grass.
Not the nade. Here comes a pound fight. But no, doozy. He will finish things up. Question mark though. 16 kill game. 26 points. A very aggressive start. A very weird middle. A very aggressive late middle game. Very quiet ending. But question mark though. They put our kills. They put the damage. And more importantly, they put the assists on the board. What's the aim? They put an impressive 9 kills on themselves. BBL was 7. No, nothing hiding away from that. 6 for Art Sleep. 5 for Navi as they hold out. Navi really struggling keeping those players alive, I feel, in the late. And BBL also putting on a impressive 7. I will mention, though, BBL having that strong early game. They really didn't want to take too much action. They didn't want to take too much risk. And it just felt really, really controlled for them. Even down towards the end, I feel like it's a bit, maybe, it was a bit of that zone that let them down there, CC. But a good game. Definitely a good game from Tego.
Definitely a good one, an exciting one. You know, keeping us at the edge of our seats all the way there till the end. And question mark, you know, again, high point game right there. Nothing to take away from the remainder of these teams there. You were able to understand the mission, where to rotate to. And like I said, the play style was just there. Very entertaining to watch. We watched a few teams rotate early, didn't really pay off. We watched a couple of teams, you know, come in to fight and woo. That was one of the most entertaining, long, drawn-out fights I've seen in quite some time. So just a lot of insane action going on right there. Interesting fights. And again, that's why we do these scrims here, Buster, to give you guys that chance to trial it out, to trial out that 2-2 split 4-foot, to see how that's going to work in the reality of things. And again, you were able to regroup. You had a plan for the plan. And that right there, like I said, just love to see it.
Yeah, it was a good game. And yeah, you're right. There was a lot of different types of executions coming out. Don't forget, this is a scrim, guys. So this is all about these guys and girls getting practice in. PEC Fall upper bracket is about to kick off. So this is the last opportunity we're going to be able to see these guys before they have to throw it down. And again, put it all to the wire. Don't forget, after the upper bracket, though, 8 will go through. 8 will then go meet the lower bracket. And if you didn't watch round of 16, there is a VOD review up on YouTube. And it's all about, obviously, taking the top teams over. And the first 1 to 3, they've qualified towards the upper bracket. Obviously, those guys are trying to play for the upper bracket, which is all going to kick off. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see the talent lineup, though, kick off, because it's a stacked lineup for PEC and PAS. But for now, we'll take a quick break, though. Lobby's pretty much done. It's going to be another Tego, so I'll see you guys in a few.
Tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then I'm on side. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah.
All right, everybody, and we are back this time around again. Double time Tago as we get back over the top. This time, a little bit better of a playing path for the teams here, a little bit more centralized. And hopefully this time it's going to give everybody the opportunity to drop where they'd like. Because again, we had a little bit more of a limited playing path here. Mark, how are we feeling as we come into Tago here after 2 games here? What are some things we're noticing here about today's scrims?
Look, these are the best of the best at the moment. The ones that are getting ready for that big event, which we're talking about, PEC Fall. It's the last opportunity to go globals, right? So people are going to be keen to get things right. Scrims are for practice. This is what this is about. We're on the esports host as well. So we are getting the true experience when it comes down to what they're going to achieve. Now, the next couple of steps, obviously, you've got the upper brackets I mentioned. Then we're going to go to that lower bracket, and that'll be the last chance for anyone to get through to that grand finals. And obviously, the grand finals is going to be hectic. PGC points, money up for grabs. That is what it's about. Everyone is focused at the moment to Bangkok because that's where globals is. And oh my God, if I can get myself a flight, I will be there.
Seriously, man, to be any type of PUBG event, you know what I'm saying? Any of these LAN events, anytime they group up, would be fantastic to just be a part of, just to be in the crowd, be a supporter, you know, and just see some of these teams, you know, at their best. You know, you get to really get the intensity and the energy that way, right?
You talk about intensity, right? It sounds, this is gonna sound really weird. It's actually the bass. I want to hear the bass when the grenades go off. It like when like people just hitting hard. Like I really want to get involved and like hear. Look, if I'm not casting
definitely
it,
a cool
that's okay.
feature.
Like
when you come into PUBG, right? Like that overall the immersing sound of when you hear a grenade go off, right?
yeah, 100%. You're gonna feel it there. That's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
But,
Immersion, straight immersion into the game right there. Like, you know, we get it here. We got the headset on. We're really engaged and we're involved here. But there you are. There is no
You're in
opportunity. There is.
You're in it, mate. You got to be in it to win it. Look, massive shout, Tim, of the guys from Mercy Game. I said they've gotten getting involved with the Fantasy League. He really hooked me up though when it came down to my PNC UK jersey. Hoping he'll be out there as well. Mercy Gaming. PAS, mate, those guys are on fire. I'm really pumped for this event. Well, to be fair, I'm pumped for all events. And more importantly, thank you again for all the messages. I'm still getting messages as to why are you not on the talent. Because the pros are on the talent. I just do some scrim stuff, guys. Like, this is just me messing around on a Wednesday evening. But I'm super excited, mate. Super excited to see. Because the competition is tight.
Literally, I mean, everything right now, like I said, I think one of the most interesting things to say about the tournament scene right now is there's a lot of mixed players, a lot of swaps, and a lot of teams that you know may have some three players that are on the roster, but the additional fourth has been a big game changer for a lot of these teams here. A lot of the switches up and the roster changes have really made this more interesting than I expected it to be because there's just players playing on certain squads who you wouldn't expect to be there. I think we're all shocked still about the kickstart into Luminosity Gaming. It's just been crazy to see some of these players making the decisions they've made, and it's really made an impact on the scene itself. And expecting teams to do well, expecting other teams not to do so well. Mime, excuse me, that's like Kickstarter. Mime, making it onto Luminosity Gaming. Excuse me there, and like I said, there's just been a lot of changes going on, dude. Like I said, between the scenes, it's really kept things, on their toes. And these players, I mean, are starting to, recognize a name. But wait, who do they play for again? Wait. Where's that not going? In what favor? Do they have 3 players up, 4 players?
Yeah.
And you're really starting to challenge the IQ of some of these players on top of mix up the skill base.
Yeah, it's bigger change than also these changes now going through. The other big one for me was we saw Dragon Tiger Barrel Showdown, which I now just got right after many times of saying it backwards. Obviously, with them losing Greg going to Third Eye, then hoovering up Honey Badger. Taking them, so obviously that team's now gone. I think there's an element of that because of the PGC points. I don't know quite the ins and outs personally, so I don't want to guess anything. But obviously they were going through. They were looking good. They looked strong. Round 64, round of 32, round of 16. I don't think the boys will mind me saying they didn't perform. Like they were a mid-table tier team the whole way through, and that's not what I would have expected from that group of players. Like they are all completely stacked. So I think they're going to struggle a little bit with that.
Hands down, I have to agree, Buster, that it's definitely going to be a struggle there. And hands down, I definitely have to agree. It looks like that will be a huge struggle. And we'll have to see how the teams react, to some of the situations they've been put in here. very centralized position there. Hal starting to get some friends around the neighborhood here, and starting to just really showcase. Cheers to the top, though. Pacific Esports in with the Woo, and the Woo lost some players early on last round. Be ashamed to see them lose them players one more time here, but here they are. They're going to take the fight with... No, actually not take the fight. They're going to drive around. Diff, the last player around, is taking a lot of shots, but it looks like he will regroup with the rest of the Woos here, heading in the direction of all, as it looks like Siler's going to have a chance to take it. Diff's really having a difficult time to get past these players. Kino and Marcy's the last players for all to take the chance here. They're going to find one. FaZe, excuse me, Fuzzface is going to try to dance around the vehicle. Finds Kino. Nixie with the initial knock there as the flush comes through. Now, can they regroup? He's going to get inside the vehicle. No, he's actually not going to get inside the vehicle. Waiting, just trying to make sure that he can get away. 1 for 1 comes out here on each side, as it looks like the res for the Woo should be in place here. Spotting out Nixie here. Marcy's in a 1v1. Nades traded out on both sides, but still not really finding anything interesting to get the knock. No angles. Woo getting the res here on the side, and they're going to send Fuzzface now to try to find this off angle here on Marcy's.
Be cautious as well. I've got people from behind. Is that a Christmas tree? Yes, it is a Christmas tree in the background.
Yes. Come on. Nightmare Before Christmas. It's Christmas all year here, baby. Okay, that's my favorite.
I love it, mate. I love it. You've been rocking that a while, mate. I do like it. I must admit, when I watch your stream, I'm like, yeah, mate, that's a sick Christmas tree, bro. It's like June or July. It's hot as hell and it's a Christmas tree in the back.
I'm telling you, I get at least one ask every stream. You know, I'm going to keep it there because at least it keeps the conversation going.
Love it, mate. To be fair, not even Halloween.
You know?
I love it. Absolutely love
like
it.
I said, literally, if you look at all of my room chat, busted just to highlight you guys, NBC, I've got NBC themes things from the start of when you walk into my house, to the room, to the car, all the way to my bag that I carry around here. I mean, I've just been born and raised Nightmare Before Christmas fan, so anything Nightmare Before Christmas is just right up my alley.
You love it, mate. You love it. Happiness. I'm gonna be happy with that one. Got a few drops in the bag. Quite worried about this zone here because there's so much of it. Open terrain, got a couple of high ground, and then we've got this massive amount at the bottom that is unusable. But I see the water shift away as well. For esports going for a wider wrap, they're going to come in behind Sleep Dodgers. BBL yet to join us on zone. Pretty much, most people have sort of tinkered into that centre, pushing out towards that northwest. There's a couple of sleeper agents down on that red mark. I really like that question mark location. I feel like they're in a strong position. They've got this 2-2 split. They're hoping to maybe lay a trap. Maybe we're going to see some teams push in the middle of there, maybe capitalize on a couple of free rotation kills. But 17 teams up, 66 players. Phase number 1, so we've still got loads to play for.
Literally, Buster. This game is just getting started here. 66 players. We only lost 2. And FUT kind of on a little bit different of an approach here with this zone here. A little bit more grouped up here this time around, playing the full 4 and just keeping themselves here with some information. T-Bone has spotted out one of the solo members from SLD here.
Yes,
it looks like they're going to leave him here to try to find this player, and he is going to take the opportunity. Goes to the passenger, switching over to the driver, and somehow just not connecting with those shots. He's actually going to stop. Maybe Moss to take the shots back thinner from the back. Again, on the drive-by there, trying to support his teammate here. And they're at least going to pull them back. Now, FUT reconsidering to get involved in their thinner from the distance, still trying to get involved with those drive-by shots from the vehicle. And respectfully, you got to love those shots coming from the distance.
You guys are pros, man. It's insane how they can do this. I just love it. Absolutely love it.
I'd never even try it, dude. Like I'm flat-footed and I'm having a hard time with that shot.
You know that. That's the same. Here comes the zone. BC, as they come down from that North Pole, they'll be working their way in as well. BBL are now in zone. I was thinking on the edge. I kind of like this play. We don't always see this from BBL. They are playing this kind of like early passive game, this early strategic game. Maybe been subject to their zone, maybe where their drop zones have been. It makes me feel like Ascend. It feels like after all style. Like they don't want to set the fight early on. Again, it could be something to try and definitely one to keep an eye on. And for those that, again, that are not already, get yourself involved, not just in the PEC Fall, but the PAS. Remember, this is your insight into who you're going to pick. And look, let me know who you are going to pick as well. But I have to wait and see. But Michael has gone down himself. He's on the creator, which actually is in school. So, oh, look at this. Good shots as well. Smash Doe walking forward. That's a divert slightly.
I like this name.
Mike's
creator.
Yeah, I love it, mate. OG style, mate.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So there's, you know, you got players out here who've been here. Unfortunately, we got Mr. Michael himself just left for dead here. The rest of BBL. Smash looks like it's trying to keep an opportunity and looking onto what's going on here for the squad. He's avoiding the knock, avoiding the flush. The creator just spotted him out and called him out, and then he's not going to be able to avoid all three. So that's BBL losing one on rotation. And the zone says, hey, it's not phase 3 yet. Let's keep some of this unplayable still in the mix here as teams now going to full send, trying to find the rotations. We'll try to keep up with all the action here, but that center of the zone, look at it, is congested. How? Woo, DA, Bumblebee, and whoever else wants to come to the party, invitations are free reign.
No, Diffic's run over Fuzz Face. No!
Oh my God. What is happening here? Howell coming out on top. Woo returning the damage, and it's just not looking great for either side. Nades raining in. What is happening still? Nixie, how we doing? Bragging off shots coming in. And now let's push it back.
Big
here.
nade.
Biza
Big
takes
nade.
himself down with the nade. Oh.
How are so unfortunate. Diffix though didn't hit the handbrake, went straight in, wrong time, and Howell comes rolling in and gets a freebie. Now he might come in and get a re-knock as well as they were laid down. Schofield, lucky enough, got the res back on because he has got no more U2, so I can't imagine a push just yet. They're still looking on the other side though because this is DA. We have SRM and I believe our Bumblebees all here. Looks like we're going to get a cut out. There they go. No, hell no. We get a full crash though. Sleep dodges full crash though from PCF as they want to conquer the compound. There's only 2 of them remaining. Everyone is fighting for scraps at the moment.
Literally grasping for straws, trying to find something out of nothing. And it's not looking like even when you finish the fight, you're going to be feeling happy about it. But you got something, again, if you're going to take these fights. Sleepy Dodgers, you know, 2 players. They took the early fight, and now we're trying to watch these guys reset. Nades coming in. Again, nobody there to receive. Celtic, though, may get this knock from the nade. That one looks good.
Oh,
Right under the
big
feet
knife.
again. Hatched it. Got him. Any Bodies is going to take that one right there. And that is now Nixie, the last member alive for the Woo. In that crash that we had watched earlier, we've got a couple of teams battered, a couple of teams bruised and trying to find what they can. There's that zone one more time, and there is nothing really playable except for that center zone. North side looking not so great. WLA here at the top side. In comes POD here. Is the power spread going to be enough? Is the res going to come through here? WLA actually going to shoot off here. POD deciding not to stop, but in the face is still one player. Coming up over the top is going to be Levante. Levante with some good shots. Not able to find the knock because he actually does find Zoom.
Long, yeah.
He's deal with one more WL player. We live again. Hopefully not going to go down here, but it looks like with the response of POD, all they need to do is put some support. You've got 2 players very, very close to one another. They just got to find the way to take this fight with Boba. There it is. Comes in. Boba opens up, finds Shine. Again, off angle. I don't know where the discommunication was at there, but unfortunately not going to get that nade. He's going to try to find one more player of POD as the stun comes in. The res still not there. Up comes Hoba, and down he's going to fall. Levante able to hold the field there, taking down our second squad, excuse me, of WLA there. As even though we've lost a lot of players here, there's still quite a few teams inside this phase 3.
There is a few here, and the mortars are raining out, but our polar bears are still coming in. I kind of like these style of rotates. Navi, you have 15 still alive. They've still got 4 up. Let's see if they can hold for this game, though. This is our final take-go before we do move over towards that for Kendi. Let's pick up one. I speak too soon. Alright, commentating Curtis. BBL eventually going up. Just leaving a bit today. Get caught slightly. Hound, though, they were in the mix of things as well. Looks like we are seeing Navi going to crash up in this area. And Hound, though, taking this area. I think they've got a bit of a freebie, I'll be honest with you. But I definitely feel like they are going to be able to get away with maybe holding this terrain. Very, very tough terrain to hold, though.
This entire zone just difficult. You still got a little bit of unplayable in with that shift. Studio is wide open, but these teams smart enough to know that it's not going to finish inside that studio. If it does, it's going to pull off. And if it finishes inside the studio, I would love to eat my words because who doesn't want a studio finish? But
it might do.
These teams banking.
Yeah,
I like it.
I reckon Northwest, just on the outside. I reckon Northwest, mate.
It's either Northwest or right where Flood's playing, where it's going to end up forfeiting itself back to. Again, there's still so much to play for. But there's the crash. POD enters the fight here, but unfortunately the response from Mad at the top finds one, finds two. Shine puts some hurt back in the direction, at least to find that threat immediately. Shine now trying to dance around. Hackatory is on the other side, fighting with the last member here of Happiness. But he's not going to be able to find the knock. Both players kind of bobbing and weaving, bouncing, dancing around the store here. But unfortunately, still unable to confirm their Hackatory. Now the last left alive is, it looks like one trade has came out over to the other side. QM still with SRM. And then just trying to reset it. There's just too much going on to keep up with. We're trying. Dante's in a fight. Holding off J-Mix here. Howl in the center of that zone here. Dante should be able to peek up the last member alive as Bastelich and a doozy get confirmed. He's going to take this fight. Gets the first knock. He's going to jump down, trying to catch him off guard. Looks for a player to connect with, but again, the response just not there. Lobs a nade. The rainbow, that bounced in the window. I was done, but just shy of the window there. Dante's putting up a good fight. 3 kills on the board, but he's got all of J-Mix here to deal with if he's going to make it out of the compound here.
Not take a boot. Shots come through. Not enough, but let's catch one. Does duck and dive though. QM though, dodging the windows, mate. He's going to have to try and reposition himself. Goes around the other side of the compound. Kind of like this is an aggressive game of chess, it feels like. The mix have to reset slightly. We'll stay a look on the other side though. Pod still need to get in. Happiness going. There we go. That's what I said. That northwest side of that studio. Had it a few times here. This is horrible. Well, the team's got to now shift. There is not many people already out there.
You got POD left out in the blue. It looks like maybe going to come off that fight there. Starting to go down. 13 teams, maybe come 12 if they're not able to make their way in. The solo question mark. Dante is still trying to find his way in. No teams inside the zone, but the studio possibility is there. So maybe we end up going to studio here. We'll see as that map did leave some potential. You do see a little bit of opportunity, but nope. Dante getting the 1v1. Now the 1v2. He's going to get the step up for the second opportunity.
When Mix do not want to push him anymore, he knocks one at a time. Every time Dante is a successful solo player, and the Mix were like, I'm not playing this again. There is no way we need to do this. And they take the knock. But yeah, it's a bit of a dangerous zone. I can't see it going straight on the inside, but it might do. It might do. Let's see.
Looking really like we're gonna have a full set mode again here. Debating on where these teams are gonna play. Still not a single team inside studio. Is Example gonna be the first to take this opportunity? No, he's gonna stop. Shots coming in all directions. SLD, Foot, Hall, probably about to take out Example here. Just nowhere really to go. Oh, he's a little bit too close to the vehicle. That one may explode on him.
Nah, we're good, but a couple more shots, he is gone. But
dangerous. DA shot out of the buggy. That's 80. Able to find that one. Lyron, the last player for DA, stops in the shack just outside of the zone there. Sput's got some good control there on that southwest side. Should be able to keep the majority of these teams out. Here to the north, we're watching all try to get out SRM. As again, great day for them so far. Are they going to be able to make the rotation in past all? And so far, so good. They're going to drive right past again. Once they get past that initial entry, should be good in the rest of the zone here. And you can see Shilla will find themselves a home inside the center of that zone. Over to the solo Example, and just outside the zone. He's actually taking the chance to get inside the vehicle one more time. And that was short-lived there, as again, it's going to blow up after about 1 or 2 shots. Laza, the last with 2 vehicles, and one of those ready to basically explode after those few more shots. Vehicles basically wasted and toasted at this point. 26 players, 11 teams going into phase 5 here. A lot of unplayable. There's just so much terrain and really no cover.
this is mental. This is, you say it right, there's like this kind of front line on this west-hand side that everyone needs to kind of sort of penetrate through, just full send through. If you make it, you're in. If you don't, you're down. A couple of teams, though, are holding. I've given the benefit of doubt. Some moved early to try and position themselves to try and pick up as much as they can. Hackatory, though, got some meds now, but it is phase 4, so it's going to tickle a little bit for him. And it's like Navi does pick up another 2 in that car. Will go over the top. It's also going to get squished yesterday. That was quite fun. As there goes that zone. Let's pull back out of the studio area and back into this madness. Nice hill either side. We might get that sort of crest on the top, though. And Hal will go down really quickly, deleted there from Foot Esports, and 8 kills on the board. They are looking good.
See, and this is what I was wondering. Like I said, off the knowledge they played last game, I was wondering, you know, again, had they not gotten involved in a 5-team compound fight right there, could have had themselves a much-needed game here on Tego. They understand it. and they're playing it out nicely here. It's POD, as I said, could have probably went down in phase 3 into phase 4 of the shift. He's been eating blue the entire time, probably got about 16 first aids in order to make it in here, but somehow, some way, he's going to be able to find himself in. But waiting right there at the doorway is going to be Navi as well as Foot down. So, yeah, don't take the vehicles. Take the opportunity. There's some boxes, maybe for a couple more first aids, as he's going to pop this one to the right-hand side. Again, you see those boxes, and Hakatori living his best life here.
I do worry, because he's just going to fall into Anti's trap, isn't he? There's no need for Footy Sports to move. Anti's doing a job at the moment. He's just covering the sort of southwest side of the zone. He's eager to try and stop anyone coming in. Hakatori, though, will soon come into his eyesight, but maybe the gunshots are drawing him slightly away. Let's go tune in with some of those gunshots here, though. All against odds, though. They were all against odds to get qualified. They did. They done well, and that's maybe why Marbo, big nade, a big sense. And Hakatori now just getting spotted as he just gets in. Navi hears him rolling in as well, but that's going to give away his position. So Navi down on 3 kills, and Marbo, again, he's never a great player. Go give this guy a follow on Twitch. Great streamer, always entertaining as well. Played for a couple of teams, fun doing that, but he's always there. He's always good. He's always good to watch stream. Always fun as well to jump in with his stream. But when it comes down to the competition, such a serious player, such a good mechanical skill set as well.
Looking on to our remaining 5 teams here. Again, T-Bone getting some care pack love there in the center of that zone. Foot having to kind of recenter themselves. Beamy holding the south side, making sure PBC can't just walk into the upper part of that hillside. But PBC, again, had themselves a tough fight inside that compound fight last time on Tago here. This time around, not a lot of kills, but inside of the top 5. Just finding the momentum, finding the rotations, and keeping themselves out. Their power spread right now seems to be a little wide. Being that it's endgame right now, so starting to group up here is probably the best thing, as they will start to take just outside of the studio here. And as Mark called it, we're in this northwestern part of the studio for the finish here, as it continues to pull up right here. We've got a lot of teams playing here, and if that's something to kind of take home these zones, Foot, again, great job realizing this, early on, and then walking into a great spot of the zone here.
It's a strong spot, and these teams will now find out. A lot of this is going to be down to do replacement, how you work your way in now. The zone will shift again. Teams will have to get moving themselves, and there we go. Let's pull back down. Footy Sports are very, very, I suppose, proud of where they are now. We are going to see that fight for the hill. I've seen it a few times. This hillside does come down. That just remind me a bit of Ascend, actually, because Ascend had a huge wrap round, kind of where PBC, our polar bear chasers. They rotated really wide. They came in late in that sort of east-hand side. They pushed through studio. They pushed up to this hill. Now it's going to be about our polar bears. Can they control it? Can they hold out? Because currently, 10 kills for esports. They're looking good for a chicken dinner right now.
That's continuing to put the pressure on. SRM is going to have to move in, using the foldable shield as a standable shield. They're going to get some extra range and some extra angles here, able to, again, use the util here in their bag there. As we watch SRM, there's Baron. Baron, usually the first player in SRM's roster to full send. And again, he must be a very strong player to secure that initial knock and initial positioning. His IQ seems to really be great, and always finding SRM a spot inside that next zone. Foot, though, 10 kills on the board. We just keep tapping back in with these guys. They've got the entire map covered from the angles that they've got here on the ridge. And again, as long as Beamy doesn't go down there, that's going to maintain and stay this way here. All's going to have a very tough time coming up the hill, in this direction here. Again, everybody knows the uphill battle of PUBG. And again, you always have the opportunity. If you're that hill that's on the top, the advantage basically is in your favor there.
Yeah, it's been very well controlled. Footy Sports also having a bit more of a difficult battle when it comes down to this side, but they've really capitalised. They've held up really, really strong. It's a good play from them. Really nice to see. On the other side, obviously, as we mentioned, the Polars did wrap around. A bit more of a different game for them, but they've been chasing the shots. Everyone's been dying on their sword. They're going to continue to hold. Marcy does get SRM. Looks like we are going to see them make the push forward now. 4 teams are going to remain, as Navi has dropped out. Big play, though. Marbo gets that smoke out. He knows the danger of making the push here, but I'll give him this. They've moved before. If the boys have gone, he's now stuck in the mud. There's no way. Maybe get the other car. SRM will get shifting themselves, and looks like someone doesn't want to walk. Do it that way.
Unfortunately, like I said, when the tire goes out and you're on that hillside, it's just very difficult to pull off, and that's going to cost Baron his life there. In SRM, maybe the game here, having to basically foot it across the road right there against all odds, has realized that SRM's still on the approach right here. Siler's continuing to just scout out both sides of the smoke right here. Nade comes through to confirm. Just shy, another one to follow maybe. No, they don't even need it. Siler's to take down Shilla. That is now 3 teams remain. And then all can maybe potentially get this res here. Marcy's a little bit off angled for the remaining 2 players here, but the potential is there. There's no immediate pressure, but it's going to be a huge full send if they are going to get it. No, there it is. 8C from the side. I didn't even see him lying back here. He's going to steal that one, put it on the board here. So it's all down to 2. But with 11 and their full 4 roster, and then we've got PBC very, very quiet, making their way there on that east side.
Esports are looking really good at the moment. I don't only say it about certain teams and certain players, but I just generally feel they are looking really, really strong. Definitely one to watch so far. Does get Marvo down. Silence, he's going to try and push his way forward. A little bit of casting, Silence. He's a good player, and he's a good caster as well. Have a little look over the top. We've got no vest. Has to go for the swap out now as the this one's got a little bit of duct tape remaining on it for him now to push out. 4v1v1, well 3v1 really, and they are going to try and stick the reses. All against odds, they've done the damage, but with the damage done, should see FUT Esports though control their way down. Beamido picks up the final player for them. It's now a 4v3. We're just about get this res on in time, and said before, FUT Esports just looking hyper controlled at the moment. Very well played so far from them. See if maybe they'll die on the swords of the polar bears.
Coming in again, trying to put their first kills on the board of the game in the last fight. Again, not really when you want to do that again, especially against a 13-point FUT squad right now. T-Bone's got the FAMAS there. And it's looking like it's going to be a hard win here for PBC. If PBC takes this, biggest upset, scrim, 2023. No, I'm just kidding. But looking like this is going to be huge plays. only playing PBC. No shots at you guys here. Just trying to have a little bit of fun with the cast. Put a little pizzazz. If you guys win this one, this is going to be big right here. I mean, you got 13 kills to 0. I mean, we've all got expectations. And we've all got realities here, and whether it goes either way, I'm happy with the outcome here. FUT 13, PBC looking to get 4.
Yeah, he's going to try and hold out. Obviously, these guys are not a scratch squad, but they are a group playing together. And one thing I will say, FUT Esports though haven't even extended out. They've not stretched out. Vixen the final player though. Beamy season. We're going to play Peekaboo, and there we go. FUT Esports, big GGs, big game for them. 16 kills, 26 points when it comes down to it. Look, let's not take anything away from the polar bears, right? It was cold. It was icy. You're the cold crew. You should be the one loving the dream. But
I'm
what
the
it
biggest
felt.
supporter over here, man. Like, come on, I'm all about Vikendi style maps and Vikendi style teams. We had the Vikendi Vandals. We got the Polar Bear Chasers. I mean,
You love it, mate.
I love it. Just come on. I'm all for the upset there. No offense, but I mean, come on. That would have been huge.
16 kills is huge, though. 7 kills apiece all against. They look good in that one. Pod looked good as well. They caught how somehow timed the push towards the Woo at the right pinnacle time. But apart from that, a nice winner chicken dinner. It's a nice winner chicken dinner. It felt a really, really controlled chicken dinner from Team FUT.
Did not seem like they were kind of bouncing around, right? I mean, there was no confusion, no bad comms. It was kind of like, hey, we're going to play here. I need you to follow up, sit on my shoulder. And it literally just back-to-back plays coming out there from FUT in order to secure a victory. You know, that was the play that I think they were trying to go for the initial Tego match, you know, with that 2-2 split, showing that they understand, you know, how Tego works. And again, a very difficult zone for FUT to play in there. So it wasn't like, hey, you know, you guys come in, you guys were given full 4, and, you know, they fought the fight. You know, they were able to hold down a few teams, put it in, you know, where it mattered. And there it is, FUT with a big kill game. You know, that's 2 16-kill games back-to-back here, and 26 points, you know, for 2 separate teams. Like, that just goes to show you how the power, it's spread.
Yeah.
Mark Power, it's spread.
Hey, that's why I changed it. But no, yeah, you're right. As they came in that sort of southwest side, you saw them, they held that sort of curve of that mountain, right? And then as more teams came on, they kind of repositioned some of their guns, but they never dropped the ball for esports. They always had someone watching an anchor play, some way someone could get in. Clear indication that foot esports are hyper organized. They understand the meta of the game. We know that these guys have been on the circuit for a long time. It just felt good there. They were just working their way down, and they were just kind of chipping away at the teams that were coming in front of them. And admittedly, a lot of teams had to fall their way because they were first in that location, and with that zone shifting again towards that east, that studio play, they were just there waiting, guns up, guns ready, 16 kills, 26 points. Enough said. Anyway, we're going to turn this one round pretty quick though. It's going to be Vikendi though, as we are going to go towards maybe the Polar Bears' favourite map. Maybe they're going to get themselves a chicken dinner on this one. But for now, let's take a quick break. Here we go. It's map number 4. The Vikendi, the cold, the blizzard, the storm. I'm not even on Twitch. You can't even see my new emotes. I've got like little bears and I've got like snowstorms and stuff. But no, just to let you guys know, thank you for why you're not on Twitch. I'm Divine's doing it on Twitch today, and PLH have a rule set. There's only one person streaming on Twitch. So I said, can I boot my YouTube? And they said, of course you can. That's why I'm here. Plus I get to test YouTube as well, because there were some problems. I have identified the problem, and it's to do with multi-streaming, but I have been told a solution by a very, very well-educated production person that they have it's their job, and they say they have the same problem, but they've given me the solution around it. So we'll try and do some more and more. So I know some of you like to watch this on like YouTube, because you can put it on TV and stuff like that. You can sit back, relax, get the popcorn out, listen to a bit of Mark Power Class and CC kicking it for game number 4. Good flight path though, CC. As I suppose the teams are going to get their prio drops. We shouldn't see too much early action on this one, I don't think.
No, looking like we're gonna get a very cool, calm, collected day on Vikendi. We're as long as the snowstorm comes out, as long as we get a little bit of the breeze blowing, I'm always down for some Vikendi. And just want to see these guys, get their best footing here and again test this one out. As like I was telling Mark in the break here, these teams only get one match in most tournaments to basically practice Vikendi or Tego here. So any chance they get in the scrims here is like it's a really big opportunity, being how new these maps are to esports here. And just knowing that you've played against certain teams. Did you get a chance to test this out against this team in that lobby? This team, it's a little bit closer to your drop spot. And there's just a lot of learned things going on here in the environment. There's QM again. That's a again a learned thing. They see Polar PVC going off to the Cosmo here, and they're gonna forfeit that drop, give it over to PVC here, and then again, rather than take the hot drop, find themselves a little bit more of a security inside of our first game of Candy here.
Yeah, must admit, I'm a fan of Vikendi. I like Vikendi 2.0. I do like the update, I must admit. It's growing on me more, guys. I know that's going to be a topic of sore conversation. It is growing on me more. I do think it needs work. I will say that. I also do believe that these snowstorms and blizzards, or sandstorms and blizzard storms, I think they need to go, like, especially mid to late game. Don't mind the early game. Mid to late game, it can do one. That's what I'm going to say. I had one the other day, CC, and it took up the whole end zone. There was like a little bit where people on the outside could look in, and the people looking in are getting 3 kills. They're getting 3 knocks, mate. And we're talking top 4 teams.
I'm just about taking those chances, man,
About taking chances. That's the A. They're rotating. With no vest and lids. Hey, Marco, he's on the move, mate. And Pod are taking a few shots at them Hackatory Day. I think that's because they've taken a kill on the other side. I'm going to rotate their way in now. So, making his way in. Okay, I'll see on the mix. PLH, just wanting to grind. Get things ready. But, again, I like some of this train. The zone, very much on this sort of this west-hand side of the zone. And we do get that lumberyard in the middle. It's nice. One thing I'm starting to know, I don't know if this is facts. I don't know if this is especially like what we see with Tego, where it always goes back towards that river. If you look at the map in Vikendi, we've got some high ground, high terrain, like the high mountains. It seems to push back towards them. So when I'm looking at maps like this, I'm looking at the high ground. I'm looking where like our sleep dodgers are. As Dinner is taking some pops here. This is an opportunity. There's one on the adjacent side as well. So expect it to be a place that I will watch. I even cleared the snow. How cool is that?
Looking like right now, SLD, I was kind of thinking that these guys were going to get pulled up on, and this crash is going to happen here, so we kind of tuned in. But still nothing really to gain in this crash. Kino going to pull off there, realizing that, again, this isn't kind of where they want to play. Now taking the fight. Actually, some attention going to Hal, so maybe deciding that maybe not take this compound, a 2-2 split as they were thinking to play. Now going to have to come down to a 4 full send to take the fight against Hal here, as we have Kino holding the anchor play right here. Hal going to find the first knock right there as Denade almost flushes and gets Silers as well here, down to 34 HP. He's got time to pull the first aid off here, but Hal initiating the pressure here.
Gotta get this knock now, stop the push here. It's up to him really to stop Hal from crossing over. He's got 2 in sight. Make a decision. Actually going to go forward. The Mad, though, is in front, so we're going to see a different play. And actually, Kino opting not to take the shot. This might be a high IQ play for him. He's opting to go closer. Trying to get into gunshot range. Wants to make sure he gets that knock there. Puts him down for a 1. They'll be following straight up, though. So Hill's going to come straight out of the window. Though Schofield gets a knock. Final player, though, for them. Masters, though, had to dog back into cover. They've got 1 down, but he's so cautious now. Back his way in, does get some shots there. Rune able to get his tippy toes down and out. Arcee's, I feel like here, CC, he's just going to try and hide out and maybe get a quick, I suppose, knock and flush.
But all you can kind of hope for at this point, is with Hal just responding so well. You can see SLD is actually creeping in on the back there. So before this fight's over, Hal's not going to be able to relax just yet there. Marcy really just trying to hope that he gets blind. One of these players there through the smoke takes the blind spray, but again, the response is there from the Mad. So Lazo and the Mad able to hang down with the Howl. It looks like in comes SLD. Salik's already inside the compound there. As looks like distracting player Moss was just trying to allow this insert to come in. So Salik, the solo player, are going to have to take 4 members of Howl and really rely on his teammates to play the outside angles. I say that Nixie going to take down 1, instantly switch over with the Bolty and the headshot. Nixie to fall right there, or excuse me, Nixie to find Mossboard, and that's going to take off this off angle for Sleep Dodgers. And Salik was really banking on the support coming from his teammate there.
Yeah, it's not going to get the support now as that has been stopped. Rotation around. Sleep Dodgers also were looking to try and get the angles, weren't they? See, they're trying to put some pressure from a high ground, maybe get an opening for the rest of the team to sort of crash in. But Sadiq, I make the assumption they know he's here. They are positioning, they are looking around the compound. But the only thing that makes me second guess that, we see how moving away slightly. They've extended one of their players out towards the shots though, from our Woo. Woo in a good position here near us. The Sleep Dodgers though are looking like they want to start rotating their way in, but they are really split. I've got to be cautious though. Got two pretty close, but then the other is all the way up there in that sort of northwest corner, up by coal mine. Yeah, he could maybe take the cable cart, but I feel like the cable cart is not going to be the option forward now, as they are now down to 2.
Switching over to Bumble again, quieter on the day today here. Not having a horrible day here, but just not seeing too much end game here. So looking to see maybe a different story here for Bumble on Vikendi. Salik still going to get into it there with House. It looks like that fight finally starting to break out here. Salik able to find the first one. Over to DA though with Navi. Give a little attention on this side. We got these two players breaking out, so we'll keep that on the backfield. Switch over if need be here, but the more immediate as we lost any Bodies as well as Moss. It's Salik there trying to find
What a peak.
Side of Schofield knocked, but what a peak, like you said, Mark. He's going to find that, taking down Salik, and that's going to basically be SLD down to the solo and Howell resetting there in the backfield. Although PCF, our Polar Bear squad, or excuse me, our Pacific Esports, I keep mixing up those two.
Not Polar Bears yet. They're alive, man. I want to see them killing some Polar Bears,
come on,
mate.
not yet. This is Vikendi.
These guys are living the dream. They got a big rotate though themselves, for example. And Arlia though, Navi again for what's it, a third time? They're down to a 2, and it's really early on at the moment. So she's still working on things, and I say every time this is still a scrim. So please take these games with a slight pinch of salt. Navi clearly working on some things at the moment. They played really well yesterday, actually. Some cracking games, and they didn't get a chicken dinner on the board. It's quite difficult, especially when you get a new player in, just to get settled. That honeymoon period, I think, is gone for them. It was Ryan Gosling before, but now that's gone. I think they're just now working on the intricate pieces of the puzzle, and like at the moment,
Entertaining nonetheless when we see Ryan Gosling doing
yeah, my hashtag back right.
You love it, man. Like I said,
hits break.
keeping us on our toes.
I think everyone knew. I think it was the worst. It was the worst kept secret. No one. He was never confirmed, but it was just obvious. Like, because he wasn't playing at all, and you're like, well, he's not playing. But Exalt have got Uber, so Exalt have lost their player. So where is he? And then suddenly this Ryan appears. I don't know who Gosling was though. I'd love to have a guess who Gosling was, or Gosling, if you're out there, send me a DM. But
mate,
yeah,
keep me up to date.
Yeah, keep me up to date. You never tell casters, mate, because we are terrible.
Before you know it, we just slipped that one out. Sorry, we were in the heat of the moment. Okay, yeah.
I was checking all the extra boards, the extra websites where all the alt accounts are and stuff like that. But yeah, it was clearly a newly made alt account, so outthinking the casters as well, I must admit. So GG's. Let's go back to our talk on high ground. So high ground at the moment, look, we've got the Woo situating themselves on one of the mountains. We are seeing our Polar Bears on the other. I'm more looking at this middle ground in kind of this WLA and our Bumble squad though. But yeah, it does actually go higher. But look, again, look at that. The 3 mountains I just mentioned, the 3 peaks that kind of remain as well. So it is looking like it's going to play back. My logic now would be more again for northeast. Could get it wrong. I've not seen anything like this myself. But I will tell you, recently it's all been about kind of mountain play. Yes, it does end on the flat side eventually. It's like Everest. It kind of pulls the first couple of zones towards them, or just towards one of them, and from there you kind of play out. I don't think the compounds are as strong. Me personally on Vikendi, I do like that open terrain play though.
Yeah, understanding about the dip. So this is kind of like going back to the old school Aaron Gale and Miramar things. You have to understand the map. Like in certain zones where there's open terrain, there's going to be that bowl. There's going to be that dip that your team could always full send to in the last opportunity. You know, much like Aaron Gale, just outside. There's that little bowl. You know, we have the hard esports spawn right outside of the shelter. There's that little bunker area. Again, most teams that don't know about it or that are going to play like regular lobbies aren't going to assume that you can play that in the late game. But that is the spot that you see some big name teams play in and end up almost taking a chicken dinner here from spots like that. And again, so now trying to figure out those spots on Vikendi and, you know, being able to utilize them when the time is right is really going to come down to, you know, again, these scrims, getting the practice in, because you really hate to wait till you're inside the actual tournament, till the PEC, till the PAS finals, and the regional qualifiers are over, and it's really, it's go time, and then all of a sudden you're trying to say, well, where do I want to go here? So get those, dips, get those things going on now, and then before you know it, like I said, this map knowledge is just going to be expanded.
Yeah, you got to remember to add to that, because it's such a strong point. When you look at the PEC or PAS finals, and we're looking at, like, I don't know, 1 weekend or 2 weekends, if it's 2 weekend or two weeks or 6 games, should we say, or also it's best of 12, so over 6 apiece. You break that down again, you're only really getting 2 Vikendi, so you're getting 2 opportunities of which you can make something positive come from a map that everyone's learning. So by having these double scrims where we see Vikendi, going to give these players as much opportunity, as much chance to learn this terrain as quickly as possible. A loaded trade. Massive rotation round. They've gone all the way heavy from that west hand side all the way around to this north. They're going to be coming in very much hard on that east hand side now, CC.
I'm telling you, man, with it being cool, calm, collected, this is the slowest game I think we've seen played. A little bit of a, revision coming back for us. We're getting some composure here. Like, I don't even know the last time we were able to have like a full-blown conversation, and we're able to kind of trade it back and forth here. This one giving us, some time to be casters and talk about a story here, rather than just collect the chaos, in a bottle.
Try and collect it. Try. God, that was mad, that last game.
It was nuts, man. Like, we did a, I'm just sitting here, hanging out. Mark's trying to pop around here and catch this and drop that. And, so, this is just everywhere. Again, sometimes the most challenging part of it is knowing where these teams are going to play. Sometimes the story spells itself out. Other times you're like, what the is going on here?
Bit of a mad play. I'm still hoping this one might just fold out and we can get as much content as possible for you guys, but as it stands, we're going to be waiting for these zones to go. I think some of these teams are positioning, or at least positioning these cars ready to go. On the next bounce, I'm going to see Anthony now maybe come up over this crest. He's going to try and farm some information. He's going to be overlooking these compounds and just try and figure out where these teams go. Zone does pull back. Mountain, though, is just storing, as we see by DA. But then, as I said, the end zones for these seem to be in the flat turf. So early high peaks, early plays. We were seeing recently teams like Navi look really good on them. So we'll try and wait this in them. Footy Sports, though, having a look here, taking a good shots. Those Odin is with SRM now. No global army, that team. And kicking strong already this evening.
Lots of teams looking strong. 2 different teams on 26 points per match here. And again, Fut's still inside of this one. Happiness still involved as well. And a couple of teams, SRM as well. One of our other 16-point teams looking to take down BBL here. They've got the opportunity. That Dragonov, again, sounded so good. I want to say he's got a suppressor on that thing, too. And
sounds good, doesn't it?
The more, like I said, that I hear that thing shoot, again, yeah, the consistency and the speed not there, but it is so satisfying to hear that thing fire.
It's a fire rate, I think, that puts off. God, these pros are so used to hitting those SLR shots quick. It's kind of that mid-ground, but it doesn't fire as fast, but hits harder. So it is a bit of a way up, though, CC. I think it's the right gun for the right job at the right time.
You got to weigh it out. Weigh your options. What play style works best for you. Do you have the quick trigger finger there, or are you kind of one who's just taking those? You like the bolty, but again, the bolty not so opportunistic. That gives you like the right mix between bolty, DMR. We are getting the power, but you're not having to wait, those extra few milliseconds to pull back the bolty and then, clock it back, So it's like, it's not as powerful, but you're getting the right mix of both. And as again, I keep getting more and more, intricate here with the Dragonov here. Like I said, you just keep seeing it. There it is. Now a MK12 versus the Dragonov. This could be its testament right here to see what's going to go out there. But it actually looks like first going to pull back, and they're going to take the fight the top side of the hill here with the Woo. If going to find Rousey, turns his attention over to find first as well with a nice little flick from the wrist. He's going to be able to find both those players from QM here. As Fuzz with some good comms, sending it over, letting him know there's still one player left alive as he's sending some DMR shots. Gets some shots, not enough to find the knock here, but here's Nixie with the attention. Knows where the comms are at, takes the nades, gonna bounce right over Dante.
Ow.
Not to find the knock, but his comms, and he has no type of sound cue. So he's gonna try to bite it off. That one looked good for Diff. I thought he was gonna find the knock, but just unfortunate for him. Doesn't find the knock. Nixie getting his dance round, steps up, finds the 1v1 with Dante, and Dante looking so good last match in the 1v1s. Unfortunately, this time, Nixie, the one to come out on top here.
Instant smoke out. Look, he needs gear as well. is looking to try and pick up that one. That felt like a bit of a woo trap, I'll be honest with you. Fast-faced though behind the scenes, drawing the attention, forced him to go forward, and Diffix just came alive. Built differently. Diffix definitely mechanically a laser. And as a big nade though comes through, although let's get the shots before that nade goes off, and that nade will cause a little bit of damage, but not too much. Facts. No, I'm just working our way in. Our polar bear chasers. We're chasing some of these white gillies that might look like polar bears. I need to be cautious. There's a lot of pressure now outside of the zone. It's not just happiness though, and it is also pod hammering shots for this team. Polar bears have really upset someone, and that will be subject. Train splits the middle. Maybe jump on the train and off you go. I don't know. Looks like though Puffex has had enough. He's gone. He said no more, and unfortunately, lucky enough for him, he's that remaining player and kind of been left to just rotate away.
Stuck between smoke and not really a hard place, but trying to find his way out of the box right here. Throwing some stuns, trying to, again, get attention for happiness to maybe take this push, delay the inevitable here. You've got Hakatori there in the back as well. We've seen Levante with some great shots last match here. Hakatori on 4 kills, 7 all day for the squad here. You'd like to see these guys come out on top. They've not really been too loud in today's matches here, so they're finally starting to find this rhythm here and maybe find their way into the zone there. But there is quite a bit of congestion. You've got DA, the only person inside of that hardcover compound, with Happiness, POD, as well as J-Mix now going to pull up in this fight. 3 teams, and basically only one of them is going to make it out. And first started off, Levante finds Nedex, then to find Marcy, now starting to come alive, looking to match those kills for 4. Nade comes out, the trade comes in from Effects to bounce, just shy of the vehicle here, so Levante should get confirmed here, as again lots of damage was done. There it is, the flush to come through. Levante down, Hakatori last standing alive. The Groza trying to come alive, and he does, but unfortunately not able to find that knock. J-Mix in the fight closes it out with Happiness here. 1 player left alive as Effects gets the first aid off for Happiness. 3 players left to take down the solo Jam. Is it going to be enough?
No, it's going to be very, very difficult here to try and work their way in. They know exactly where he is, or give an idea. That's where we see the U-turn coming from. He does play peekaboo though. He does play peekaboo over the top bow. And he's going to end it, and before they end that one, the zone's going to push in. And question out of Happiness is they know there's a team sitting in this compound. They've got to rotate away. DA will be watching, waiting for the push from that high ground away. It's going to be a difficult end zone. We are open terrain, really. A little bit more space has been gathered. 10 teams, though, still remain with 33 players left alive on the board. It's going to be a fight off this next zone for a bit of space, I feel.
But still hanging tight. Still trying to come for that back-to-back victory here and find themselves into a little bit of a candy. Bumblebee's still alive into our top 10 here, looking to find 2 more teams eliminated before we start to see some placement point stuff to come alive. And everybody finding their spot here in the zone. SRM trying to secure theirs as Baron finds the first one. Smash will go down. That nade looks so good, but just shy of getting the knock. Clib will find Baron, looking to get the flush. Finds a second knock over the top. That's going to be next. Next now down. The last player up for SRM behind the rock, as the blue zone 50 seconds till it is completely closed and starting to move its way in here. Michael, nicely tossed.
Good nades.
It's in the blue. The second comes. The car should explode. Oh my days. What is this with nades coming in left and right and center? SRM falling apart at the seams here. And it looks like that should basically spell the game over there with Shill, the last left alive. BBL now falling apart from the backside as WLA steps in. FUT third party and out WLA, and they're just shots all over. Another perfectly timed nade here, as it is Nade City. That's the 3rd nade that's been perfectly placed underneath the player with no opportunity to react right there. And again, this is just absolutely great utility use coming out from our teams today.
Sauce is going to cause some problems for these teams now. As the there goes the snowstorm, but Juice, face number 5. Michael getting caught in the open. There's one. He spins for the second. No, going down. Smash needs to get his anchor in, and he throws it down, laying down those shots. And WLA, they weren't close enough now. Let's see what Smash can do. The rest of them are coming down. Hober, though, straight in form, and that nade will be done. And unfortunately, BBL getting caught by the sleeper agent. As these teams now start to move their way in, and here comes a big crash, though. D8, they're going to hold. They'll be all right. The snowstorm will provide some cover. This Bumble squad, though, really going to fly in through the snow, but to remain, they've got P90 in the hand, and they've got the camouflage. Open terrain ending here. There is not much to play. This feels like a paintball field with the little hay bell stuck in the middle.
literally a paintball field end here. We've got Woo inside the compound here. Hal on the push, the approach coming in. Schofield gonna open it up here. Util coming in the back from Laza, just not landing in the right spot. That blue zone should at least put Woo into the back corner right there as Nixie trying to find his way up and over to the top to really take out Hal by surprise here. But Diff and Ibiza both hanging out from the backside there. And again, Ibiza coming into play here for the Woo. This could be a victory here, sitting in this western part of the zone here, and really trying to make the moves here. Schofield with the knock does find Fuzzface right there, and then a second almost to get from Nixie. Nixie gonna hop down off the top, and looks like he's gonna be able to get this res here.
Yeah, both teams will exchange their reses now. He's gonna go down. Oh, DA off angle, pick up one. Vic's gonna maybe try and play this. He's going for the flush. He knows. He'll try and dodge, duck, and dive, get around, but the fence is stopping him. Maybe no more. Get yourself in that smoke. DA pumping shots at him. He lays though. It's a little tippy toes on the outside, but not quite. But now that we're on the other side, they are going to make the play. We'll hit the X-ray on, so we can have a little look here. And Schofield has been told to pick up the RPG. That I think he's waiting for a little trap, a little bit of a baity bait for the players to come in. Though he gets one, unable to unlaunch the launcher itself, and the Howl go down. 6th place for them. Teams are falling. Top 5 going to remain. WLA, we live again. They're live at the moment, though. 9 kills on the board, and they are looking like good. Warmed up, maybe melting the snow. What they need to do is find a way in, though.
Literally, Basse found the way to keep the fire burning here, even though they're not finding the chicken dinner inside a consistent top 6 every time around, and always a massive amount of kills here. The damage being done here from WLA. We will live again. I mean, you guys are doing a great job here. And Na'Vi, early fights from them, now sitting in a great compound here. The last hardcover inside the zone there. That's going to be WLA's encroach to basically take Navi's position away. And if Navi's not careful, with them being power in numbers here, could easily take it off. Their attention right now seems to be on the Woo. And this is a huge, kind of misplay here from Na'Vi if they let WLA come into the backside of the compound here. There is really no other opportunity, no other retail to play from in this zone. So you have to expect that the Sen's going to come in. And here it comes from the side, DA. Yeah, just horrible timing from DA, in the form of Na'Vi. But that is going to be great for We Live Again here. Basically giving them a 1v1 with Example here now, trying to overtake. And Example still kind of focused on the third-party shots there. Hello, my bad, confirms Na'Vi. The last player, Alia, and now it's just left to Example. Dancing around Hoba in a 1v1 with Example, but the support from the team inevitably going to be there.
Yeah, it's going to go one way. A lot of U2 endings, I feel, on this round. WLA, they got 3, and Woo, they hold up with a nice 4. 7 kills for them. DA got 3 as well with 6. And then middle grounds, Bumblebees. Bumble Squad. Bumbling their way in the fields, but they are in the centralized zone. They are getting blessed. Some PUBG love. It's coming down. P90 already. How much more Bumble Squad need? DA.
Where's the buzz at, Bumblebees?
Hey, we've got loads for days, mate. Bring home the honey.
Come on, let's go. Bring it. We like it sweet.
It's like I'm a cast with Gibson Cast.
We got to keep him alive here, Gib. We miss you, bud.
Yeah, I think he's got back. He's a bit tired, bless him. So we shall hopefully get him later on in the week, if not next week. And Code Marco just needs to be cautious so to make sure he doesn't get squished himself. Get blessed though with some drops himself, and Roser in hand. It's something you're gonna like when you want to run your way in towards the end here. Talk about running the way they're in. We live again. Open field, open terrain. Here's that last game. Does mean though we've got 4v3, v3, v2. Be a bit quiet. I feel like he's going to go heavy after that, though. Diffix, though, and dropping the ball on him. He's going to put the first knock and kill on the boards. And here goes the first fight.
I'm really feeling it here. The Woo has found their fashion, has found their form. Continuing to press forward here. They're going to take down their biggest threat so far. It's WLA, about to sit on a massive amount of kills this game. DA, a little bit quieter, still 3 up there. It's that nade. Nobody to connect with there. Making sure there was nobody a little bit closer on the immediate vicinity. That's going to be just 2 players for WLA, and then the remainder is everybody across the lobby. DA is getting a little bit of care package love while this fight's going on here, so after this fight closes up, can turn their attention, but Bumblebee's inside the zone, and they're the only team inside that center of the zone there, so it's really going to come down to where these teams step in. You've got one player, Hughes for DA, he's inside the zone as well. So it's going to come down to placement and how they play. And as I say that, there he is. He's going to find Bumblebee to secure DA a little bit better position inside the zone, and that's going to open up the door for them to take the victory here.
Yeah, DA in a good position here, 6 kills at the moment, and that high ground really did change the train. He was able to get some good shots though further down. Diffix though going to get a little bit of a reload. Looks like he's got a new lid on, and I do fear for this. Looks like Fuzzface is driving. Diffix is not this time, so hopefully he won't be running over anyone else. So the Wu now making a push forward though. There's one looking for the second one. Little bit of a car driving round. Have to try and get this final. Head of my bad. He's hunkered down where you should see DA maybe try and make the push. Diffix though going forward. He goes down. His head of my bad is anchoring like his life depends on it at the moment. Gonna try and maybe get it confirmed. There's nothing in the chamber though. DA be looking to go. They have now cleared Bumble Squad though. They'll be looking to roll in. Got to collapse in this fight now. We have a 1-1 versus a 3. DA on the roll. And now we're going to go down to our final player. It's Fuzzface. Let's see if we can defend off a 3-man push here from DA. It's going to be a hard push though.
Hello, my bad out here clapping cheeks today, man. What is going on, boss? They playing absolutely great today. Wu getting a chance to set the reset. DA has no opportunity or has no idea where this is actually going on right now, but here comes Matralius. He's going to make his way around the side here. Buzz gets the res. Nixie back on his feet, so the 2v3 in DA. They're going to try to use the smoke to their advantage. Nades, Util coming out to try to buy the time. In comes the fire, and at least Buzz does spot that out. Nixie on the backside here, trying to spot out Matralius. He does spot him out, but the Groza just firepower comes through. Util now there. DA relentless on the push. It looks like it's all about to be over for Fuzzface. There it is, the victory from DA. 20 points in the chicken dinner here, stealing it away in fashion from the Wu.
Good game. 20-point game. DA, they cleared the Bumble Squad in time. Now, interesting. Big split, though, as we live again. They get the kills. DA eventually clear up on that damage, but Pods, we didn't really see too much of. Actually pick up the assist. 11 were on the board for them. It's a good game all in all. Let's have a quick look, though, as I suppose our DA, they do get that winner chicken dinner. Good game. As I said, these guys obviously closing down and out. First for Kendi.
The athletics.
Mate, the DA done well, right? They done well. They closed out. And it was about timing, though, wasn't it, CC? Because they had those 2 players in front. They got one. If they didn't clear that other player as quick as they did, would they have been able to close out? A 2v3 could go either way, right?
Yeah, and a lot of that was how the Wu was kind of taken care of. I mean, there was a lot going on, with the Wu. Had they been able to stay full 4, I think coming off that last endgame fight could have been a different story. But coming off wounded, they only get the res on to Nixie. Coming in a 2v3, they had the power red numbers over to DA going into that end fight. But again, just the opportunity, for the rest of those teams in the top 4 to come in, take it away, and, just timing. DA didn't get aggressive. They took down Bumble, took their position, centered themselves up inside that zone. And once that was ready to go, basically were able to take control of that game there. And that just shows you the power of position. And that right there, great job to DA.
Yeah, it was very much a power play of position. And there was quite a few of them, though, during that Kendi game. We saw some bigger fights, though, with teams trying to push on their hill. We saw our mixed team. They were quite aggressive, Pod the same, trying to push in. Na'Vi, they're losing numbers, though. Unable to really keep 4 up. I was a bit shocked to see he was 4 up, and the next thing I came back to him was back to a 2. Now, don't take anything away from them. They can hold out really well as a 2. They are surviving, the survivability. But it's not the Na'Vi I enjoy watching. It's not the Na'Vi I love. I want to see these guys up as a 4. With the newbie, with Ferris, though, kind of working their magic, working their way down, and trying to chip away at all of the remaining teams, the remaining kills, the remaining points that are on the board. But it's all about remaining time. We don't have much of it. Lobby's pretty much up. We are ready to go. It's going to be another for Kendi, though. We'll be coming back, though, on game number 5. It's best of 6, though. We are going to wrap things up on a wrangle. But for now, I'll see you guys in a second.
I'ma keep winning. I'ma keep winning. Ooh. I'ma keep winning.
You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself.
Yeah, you gon' need 100 men, 100 scopes, 100 cans, just for you to watch what I'm doing under the sun again. God-given gift, MC's doing the running man. If you want me to get it poppin', may cost 100 pence. Yeah, what I supply is always in demand. The throne is mine, take that. It ain't a high five, got the upper hand. I'm too real, can't fake that. Who you know putting fear in them never like this. You a vampire, still suck when you bite this. Lord forgive me for my sins, I'm feeling righteous. But they been next to me to show me I might just. They didn't think I could do it, I had to demonstrate how the flow is so heavenly, keeping demons straight. Who they fooling? I showed them the jig is up again. When I asked them who is the best, they get this to stuttering. Tell them
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning.
You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
I came this far, nothing can't stop me now. They knock me down, but they can't count me out. I can't lose, I won't lose. I can't lose, I won't lose. You may wanna save yourself. I think it's best you run away. I won't let you finish. When you came for me, you played yourself. You scream for help. It's a shame that nobody will hit with. No pain, no gain. Watch who you bang with. Make it to the top with the same ones I came with. I shoot my shot. You better know that I'ma never miss. When they coming for me, yeah, I'm gonna tell them this.
I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning. I'ma keep winning, winning.
You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself.
I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Back when you fake like that. When you fake like that. When you fake like that. I'ma kick back when you fake like that. Head out of the game.
Cool. And there we are, back one more time over the Candy, the cool, calm, collected, the breezy, the snowy, and unfortunately, sometimes a little bit polar bear infested map of the Candy. Looking like it's going to be a nice southern playing path. Not a whole lot of opportunity if you're one of those teams who likes to go north, Coal Mine, Observatory, Cosmo, down and out. We did see two teams fight over the Cosmo last time around, so we just may see that same thing kind of roll out here as maybe down to the south here, we will get a little bit more congestion with a lot of the drop spots being taken out. Only a couple of big names in this playing path, Deca, Lumber, and Train Station, which we don't really see too many teams actually play off of or in. I'd be curious to see what's going on there. But, Mark, there's our first coaches going out of the lobby here. What are we expecting to see here from some of these teams going into match number 4 of a Kennedy?
Well, this is a bit of a harder playing path, but obviously the zone is subject to that. I expect these teams to be looking for those esports cars first, looking to try and rotate a little bit further up, further afield, and then maybe looking for the loot. Unlike trying to get to that primary drop slot off the rip, I think we're going to see these guys just hunker down and get shifting themselves first early on, and maybe then try play for the zone. So don't be too surprised to see some people rotate further out. There goes our final coaches. It'd be all about getting that loot first and then coming back to fight another day.
Hands down, man.
Oh my
We're
days.
dropping into the cave there, and there it is. The zone's popped. It is far west. Lots of water in play. Dino Land, hello? In the
Yeah.
center of that zone.
I love a dino land, mate. That'd be a good ending. I'm not gonna lie. I've not had one. I had it on the outside, and we've seen the car park just light up, insane. But yeah,
That would be a good one.
I wouldn't
That
mind
would be
it.
a
I
good
wouldn't mind it, mate.
Like I said, they do all these updates, all these changes to the cooler parts of the map. I just like when I get to showcase them, when we get to see some different fight styles. You know, you get to see, you know, again, this observatory type area, you know, where again, everybody loves to fight in. Initially, when you came in, you had those, you know, those opening mouths, you know, that you were walking into. And this was just a very cool place, you know, for Vikendi to do. And there was just a lot of, you know, new things that they were trialing. And it's areas like this that it's not a standard building fight, right? You're not a high-low, you're a where are you at on the map? How do you play? Are you able to find yourself from this vehicle to that vehicle around? You know, wraps like these are the intricate fights that I think we all love to see. And with this being one of the more intricate, you know, you've got buildings with backsides, you've got doors that open inside, you've got, you know, underneath area. This is just a great place for us to be at right now. So Dino Land, you know, Vikendi has spent a lot of time showcasing and saying Dino Land, and everywhere you're at on Vikendi, it's Dino Land. Let's do a Dino Land.
Yeah, do an ending. I wish we could control it. I wish we was the ones picking the ending, because it'd be crazy
Nice.
in Mark Powercast. I'm telling you, mate. Boop, in the cave, boop, in Dino Land, boop, in Paris. But yeah, it's
We'd
good
be
area.
challenging.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You guys would have a little bit more of a challenge. PUBG's nice to you guys, okay?
Oh yeah, we get scripts. I forgot to say everyone. Yeah, we get a script to read. Don't forget. Wish we could get a script. There's some of the events I've covered though. We've got some crazy endings. Talk about crazy engines. It's a crazy start. PCF though do lose 2 already. WLA, we live again. They seem to be live in the cold. They seem to be stepping forwards, or maybe hot stepping on the snowy terrain. PCF though, they're not giving us one. There's a little Zeke in as well. So, Thunderlost, he's not shy to come play ball. Find himself now in the compound.
Looking for some revenge here. The quiet pull-up is going to come in from Thunder. Maybe able to get some sort of revenge for his team. Sees the team pulling off. Going to pull out to the SLR. Catches him on the slowdown there. It was almost about to be an easy pickup right there, but looks like the timing just not going to pay off there. So hello, my bad. Again, with a great game from We Live Again. Last match would be a shame to see them lose these players here, but now the full 4 going to send there, so it should be an overly powered fight here. Thunder could even catch them off, and that's exactly what he's going to try to do here, is just wait for the perfect opportunity, at least to take down 1 or 2 members. I'm going to put We Live Again at a lower number of roster here, so it's scrims, and, you know, this is sometimes the play style we get. I don't think we'd see this in a big, you know, open qual match or, you know, a regional playoff or, you know, but we're definitely going to see that kind of style here. There, he's just going to wait for the opportunity. He's maybe going to creep up, come alive here. As here comes a WLA driving right past above as well. You do have another player for PCF, and no, just by they're driving so close. They're taking the vehicles from here to there. They're not going far, but PCF somehow has still just avoided being seen here.
Well, being avoided being seen, he's under the bunker here, and how those cars just missed him. He's got to be cautious about how he moves, because obviously it only takes a little while for someone like iZoom to catch on. There was a smoke on the other side, so I think they know someone's here. I don't know where. iZoom surely is going to look back one way. Is it him? Hober maybe? Anyone going to have a little look? Yeah, exactly. He's throwing those fakey smokes. Look back at the line. Look, follow the line back to its source, and the source is a little bit lower than where he's looking. Hober's surely going to pick him up. See, he's calling it. He said it didn't come from there. Like, you got to think with the smokes, you see them, don't you? They dissipate quite early on as you throw them out. So, I zoom.
This is troublesome. Oh, they spot out one. Okay, if he goes down, this should be Thunder getting the chance to live and basically live again, you know, for his squad. But it looks like now the pressure is going in that direction. The full send to try to take down what they think is the last member here for Pacific Esports. Here comes the send. WLA is going to full send. Are they going to run over Thunder? No, just by him again. They're all going to kind of group up here to take this final fight with PCF. He's coming alive. He sees the opportunity, smells the blood. The nade comes out. Not going to find the knocks, but does delay the push. Hoba. Oh, Hoba. Opportunities now. He's going to find the first knock.
Great knock.
He's going to go for the instant flush. Actually, no, going to go for the transfer. Spray comes in from the opposing player up top. Both players fighting a good fight here against the remaining 4 WLA members here. And in the backside there, I thought we were about to have BBL get in the fight here, but they're going to drive right past. So it's just Thunder and Rise trying to find the final 3 players here of WLA, holding off some great angles right now.
Yeah, they're good cross up here between the two of them. Can't really push forward though. That Nazo is going to open up opportunities to get moving forward. Got the confirm, and they all now spread out. This is the problem for them though. Nade gets a second down to that final 2 now, but they have to get moving. You see Sosto on the other side. He has to get himself in. Eyes knows this. Walks pretty much into that nade. Very unlucky though, unfortunately for him. Doesn't do as much more damage than to expect. He's now moving back. Those Sosto now pushes his way out though. Does get the flash now. Going to take the opportunity. Knows one of them, but isolated over. Only has just 2 jumping through over the top and gets the knock though. What a play though. This single man is firing on all cylinders at the moment.
Jeez, talk about some fancy footwork. Up over the stairs, down and around. He's going to peek to find that knock. He's got WLA not really panicking, but kind of scratching their head, wondering how that one was possible. Hello, my bad. Put some shots in through the window to potentially get this knock here, as Rise is just not scared to take these fights, continuing to push forward onto WLA. Once this res comes through, it's going to be even harder of a fight for him, but hello, my bad. Doing a great job fending him off, allowing this res to come through. There goes the remaining BBL players now driving past, and again, no shot, no interest in getting involved in this fight as phase 1 starts to come to a close here.
Trying to isolate, gets enough one now. Insane, whipping the shots, doesn't quite get the connections going down. We alive again. It'll be back to a 4 early phase. And so they pretty much got picked apart by solo fights each time.
Hard to come out sometimes when the angles are not in your favor. There it was, 1 by 1, starting to diminish. Down to 16 teams here. Navi does spot out SRM upon the rotation. Dinoland, again, remember, still center zone, minute 30 till we have a decision of where the zone's going. Fut going to continue their reign and tear. I think they've lost T-Bone in that fight, but it looks like so far at least able to recover. 8C down and out. Beamy, after finding that flush onto Bum Squeeze, should be able to get the res here onto 8C, but in comes the remaining 2 players from Bumblebee, potentially to catch them off guard in this res. Is still down. Beamy maybe going to hop off the res. The pull-up comes through. Vard should be sending these comms over. No, there's pressure there. Vard finds 1 for the knock. Looks to find the second. Bumblebee back inside the vehicle, trying to use for what little bit of coverage they've got. And good shots being sent out. Beamy comes up with an opportunity now to put the pressure back in. Bumblebee somehow able to survive off that pull-up right there, but are going to lose 2 players here. Now it's just the 2 players inside the compound against what looks to be the remainder of Fut.
Very much a hard remain here, and like we saw last time. Team's obviously taking these kind of one-on-one fights here. He's not taking the shots though, but he does get Vard, does hold his own though. That we do get the res back. So Esports back with 2 themselves. Beamy and Vard though is going back though. Does answer the call back. Vard's going to get the opportunity now to be rezzed if they can get down to the compound though. Bumble Squad though moving their way around. That P90 locked and loaded, waiting to hammer the shots though. Now try and get that res. Big nade comes over. Doesn't quite clear the wall. That is millimeters away. He was going to have another attempt at it though. Relooks for the wall. Bunny hops over. Nade gets full send. He's actually expecting them to fall back. Goes straight towards the nade. Gets the re-knock as well. Big shout for Beamy. Huge Kobe nade though, as he's laying down the law.
Launching nades from afar here to get those flushes, to get those confirms, to get those re-knocks here. We've seen the util just be on point today. And again, sometimes it is the difference maker. You go in, you trade that 1 for 1. You're not really going to have to worry about trading 1 for 1, which you can toss the nade into a perfect position there. But it's going to allow the res on both sides here as Bumblebee sticks the res inside. Lots of smoke going on there. So again, kind of confusing Fut as to where this is happening at. That's now 8C, Vard, and Beamy still alive after losing a T-Bone there. Still taking this fight down to the southern edge of the zone there. Remember, phase 1 just popped, so we're in that phase 2 zone. Does keep Dinoland in the center. They're down at the bottom right-hand side of your screens. You see everybody onto the north side. Very heavy, congested up top. But as well as Bumblebee looking to be the last survivors here, unless Happiness decides to get involved in the fight as well here. But again, a very quiet south side here. There it comes. The action starting to unfold. Bumblebee finds Vard. And now looking to find another. Tuzda's going to find Beamy in the window there. Vard confirmed from the Molotov. Now solo 8C left alive against the remaining 2 Bumblebee players here. Coming out, P90, I want to say in hands of one of the Bumblebee players here could be the deciding factor of this fight. Nade comes in, util maybe to find Beamy's basically flush, so he may just catch him out of guard here. Off the window, does some damage. Another one. Heard the prime, the toss. Not going to find the knock there. Tuesday does come out the window, finds some much needed damage onto 8C. Dancing, bouncing around here. Gets that first aid off. No helmet for 8C, so all it's going to take is one nicely placed headshot to get involved as in comes the happiness.
It's all about this now because teams are pushing their way in. Does get a new lid though, so he's back to a 2 lid, organ hand as he does pitch for the stairs, waiting for players to come down. Gets the tippy toes first, he will go down. Then the shotgun is backed up though. Ball deep's gonna go bumbly deep with that. So he hits hard, and then eventually going down himself. Good shots initially come through, and happiness have a happy ending. And it's gonna be a clear up here between them. Not many kills. We have now got that zone position.
Nice little recovery there. Nice job from Foot, able to take control of that fight, but unfortunately, it just was Bumblebee with the response. The nade. Kobe. If one wasn't enough, there was a few to follow here just to confirm, just to make sure that knock and confirm was to come through right there. Now more utils raining in, 2 more nades, and it wasn't enough, so Hakatori steps in with the barrel to find and flush a mixed creator right there. Just util after util after util coming in today to make these games that much more exciting and action-packed for you guys. If that's not enough, I'm continuing to keep my eyes on that Dino Land potential finish. I've been watching these teams rotate, finding their way in. Navi getting a chance. They have the 3 players left, they did lose Mel, but still in that fashion that you're saying, not able to find the 4 players left alive. Example doing a great job today, though. 3 kills on the board, and it's just been really keeping Navi in conversation here.
Yeah, Navi losing 1, but they're back to a 3, so well, they're holding us a 3, should I say. Looks like our Wu team, they've positioned themselves just on this sort of high side of our Dino Lands. Actually was great content just before PNC. We got to saw our Team India fighting out here. They did like the aggressive play. And then we go back. The zone is going to shift a little bit further away though. Michael is down for BVL. And now it's taking the fight. Happiness though. After their happy ending, getting that 1 kill. It looks like they're going to try and get a few more. We do get 2. Smash though. He's down as he goes out as well. They're going to get a few more kills on the board. Happiness are looking good. Let's see what they can do with WLA. They had a good first game on Vikendi, so let's see what they can do. They're going to lose 1 though. Sosto lays the law, and he might get in that car and get rolling. Try and close the opportunity for that team to get a res. P90 wrapping this way.
Down to the other side as well.
Yeah.
So now the push coming in. WLA has found their opportunity. Happiness wants to close this out to get the reses. Again, the P90 huge. That's going to find the first knock right here. Kind of taking WLA by surprise. In comes the pressure. Zoom, I want to say, is coming in from the back there, trying to deny the flush, but the flush already comes through. So this should find the time for the res. But Zoom was not done from afar right there. Able to capitalize with that angle. SLR up top from Hello My Bad. Should be able to find them, but Motique returns the favor right there. The knock of the mini 14 Zoom on the full set. A little bit of a spray, and he's going to catch him on the drive-by. Should be able to throw Hello My Bad in the vehicle, and this is We Live Again, keeping us all feeling alive after that one.
Get him in the back of the car, lads. Oh, it's going to res him on the outside, gangster. Let's go. There's no time to stop, no time to lose, because against all odds, though, they're going to make the push against our question mark. Now, I don't think they know that Phil first game being a little bit sneaky. Picks up Silencer. He's going to get with the shots over. Silencer answers the call pretty quickly, though. Besto straight on the heels of his own player and refuses then to go down. Reposition out for our question mark, though. This team that does like to keep the numbers up. With that knock, though, would expect him to get as close as they can, if not get to that res as soon as possible. They would be expecting a little bit more of an aggressive play against all odds, though, making the push. Kino will go through the middle, though, and Marcy, though, outside edge underneath the car. Unable to find those players, so let's see what they can do. Gotta get really close here, but again, CC, they've got a res to pick up themselves.
It's all about the reset here and then taking the fight full send here. Kino's trying to hold the law of the land here right at the start of the fight here, right at the open of the edge right here. As soon as he peeks up over the top of that hill right there, it's going to be a go time there, but he does buy it, at least buys the time. The res, not really possible here. Again, they're kind of waiting for the immediate push coming in from neither team ready to take the res, and they're ready to take the reset here. So it really is just a nice passive play, trying to let these teams, you know, get a collective. They want to close the fight before going for the flush there, and it looks like now after those nades come in, Bestilich going to take advantage. He's going to get that res onto first. Then Dante finds the nade to confirm out Siler's zone. Ready to shift there. As it does shift, it's going to go up north. North side shift zone is going to put in QM and all. This fight could be the only team to be alive inside that zone. A doozy going to have to be careful as there is one solo player there. Any Bodies kind of lying in wait. Basically could put some pressure on for him, but he's flying quiet. And as long as he decides to keep his head down, won't do too much for QM. But as I say that, that's a doozy taken care of right there. Howell comes in, and they're going to be the ones to take that third-party angle. And now it is just 3 players for QM, and I want to say 2 left for all to take that fight, as they do have 1 still bleeding out there over on the side.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 to 1.
There.
Question mark. We'll pick one. How will go the other. So I was talking about before. It's always time we see this high ground. It should push away slightly to one of the flat terrains, but like again, we see high ground, high ground, high ground. It would always like it retracts. It's like having multiple of our Everesto in play, and with that doesn't mean we're going to see the zone get caught. D8 taking some shots themselves. They do get a knock. The Woo looking to come out as well, but the car will try and rotate through. Oh, there's another one as well. Lyrano puts a secondary down as Pod just arrive up here on the front lines.
Just having a tough time rotating here.
Yeah, really caught. This zone's just really really affected a lot of teams actually.
Stun coming in. Looks like Hakatori getting a chance to put the stuns where they need to be here, but third-party shots coming in. Trying to confirm there. Can he step up and take this fight with the 2 players of DA? They pop a few pre-fire shots right there. The Molotov just shy of finding the knock there, and Any Bodies still just lying in wait here. Going to allow this fight to break out just ahead of him. And stepping up, Code Marco. It is going to be Hakatori to find 1 and 2 for DA. Coming off the chicken dinner. They're going to go down in 8th place here. A couple of kills, couple of placement points here, but that's got to feel good for them to take that fight against our winners of match number 4 there.
Oh, good night. Great nade, actually, to be fair. Just landed right on top of the player. Na'Vi now coming in. Na'Vi keeping these numbers up now. See what they can do. They can punish really teams on the outside edge. Working their way down. Question mark, though, trying to work their way in. Does now see the Bruno. He is peeking around the outside of that smoke. First, though, the new boy going to pop a smoke himself. Just to keep himself the ability to get in. Sleep Dodgers might have gone to sleep here. They aren't laying low. Might want to get into the thicker things. And these... the action really is unfolding around them themselves. Woo, they're going to be looking to get going now. Starland, unfortunately, is not going to be our end zone. It has retracted a bit more towards that east-hand side. And even teams like the Woo landed here. Opportunity now to sort of leave, and they are going to be pushing towards that team out on that northwest side.
We'll send on in Example to find the first. Like I said, he's really been doing a great job for Na'Vi today. Finding every opening knock here, and on top of that, just continuing to close the fight, really putting the pressure on where it needs to be. Nixie just ahead over the top there, as he is going to get spotted out right there. Good shots again from Example, and comes 2 players for Na'Vi, trying to get a little bit closer. The nade just shy, as it wasn't cooked enough. That one's going to be doing some damage, but not to find the knocks there. Ibiza pulling back. Remember, third-party shots probably going to start raining in from the backside here onto the Woo. Nixie to find Example with a nice toss nade. Def to look for the spray here onto Elia. Neither are going to connect. Damage is being done from the blue zone. Can Elia make it out? He can. He does about just in time to maybe get this first aid off of the blue zone just on his back. Phase 5, 27 seconds until we see that opening here. Steps in, blinds fires through the smoke. Nixie not realizing where he's at. Elia's already behind. Example's still down. It's going to take the res to come through now if he's going to get it. Steps over, gets the res. He does, barely in play. No health on the board, for Example. So as soon as he comes off, it spells game over. The Molotov to confirm. Nope, just shy. Won't allow that flush to come through, but still 2 Na'Vi players down. Example now back on his feet. Alia should be able to come up and over this ridge here with a little bit of help there now from Example. The 2v2 on the Woo starting to come through with, again, those third-party shots from QN in the backside.
It was a very strong fight, though, back end. Nice move, actually. One of those puts himself in a great position. Example, though, does go down. Defix, though, was in the damage here. Woo back to a 2-strong. Now looking at getting earlier, yet again refusing to go down. Takes a double up, though. And let's see Ibby going to pick up his boy, get running as quick as he can. Keep him in that zone, keep him in that area. Maybe get him in that car and get rolling, but the car's not really facing the right way. Let's go now, and just about will get away with it. It's going to be quite close. Maybe that snowstorm will help. I definitely know it's not going to help from a health point of view, so we're going to see Diffix maybe descend out.
That's going to be it, unfortunately, for Diff there, as again, that zone coming into Blaze of the snowstorm. You know, again, catching off all the ice is just unfortunately going to take him down there. We see that quite often in that end game situation where the res would definitely be possible without the snowstorm here. But again, this is Vikendi, so that's just one of the things that you're starting to learn to have to deal with and to plan into the attack here. When we say it's cool, calm, collected, that's the start of the match. Once these blizzards come into these end zones here, it really does turn these things on top of their head right there. And there it is, Ibiza finally going down. 5 teams left alive here, just down to about 10 players here, and we've got 5 teams again. How, QM, we've got POD down at the bottom. We've got the solo Anybody's just hanging out up there. And then I want to say our Polar Bear squad still alive, but very, very quiet down there at the south.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's WLA.
Relay. Oh.
Okay.
I was excited then. I was like, yes, the prototypes are here. Let's go.
I thought so as well. I was like, come on.
Yes, we get this. This is your map, lads. They're gonna have to try and make a push a bit higher though. Question mark on the other side though. How been in the centralized zone for quite some time. Quite cold actually. They're gonna get those shots back on though. UM got 5 kills. We've got 2 players though, so they've got a bit of a mountain to climb. And the team's already coming down. Looks like our little sleep dodger is getting a quick kill confirmed. Still surviving, still working their way down, still working the magic, and the team got 2 kills on the board and found themselves in the top 5 so far. So again, continue to have a little look through, try and pick up these couple of players that leave. Now I'm getting a fight.
Sometimes understanding the assignment isn't always taking the fights at hand. It's expressing and maximizing the amount of points right there, and that's exactly what Anybody's is doing here. He's trying to find as many points on the board here in this game for his squad. Again, a great day so far from them. Now just trying to put that power into the end game here. Watching how bouncing back and forth. Bestilich trying to really hang tight. Laza is going to take that confirm on to first. Switches around down, catch Bestilich maybe on the first aid, and he does. The headshot instantly comes through, and that's going to be the elimination of question mark right there out in 5th. Yet again, back-to-back games out in 5th. Or excuse me, back-to-back games out in this top 5 right here. But keeping SLD, HAL, WLA, and POD in the talk of the top 4 here. It comes down to a lot of beaten and bruised teams here. Nades coming in, Rocks with some good util. We'll find iZoom. It's all up the hell of my bed down here on the bottom, trying to support his team from the south, but it's going to be a difficult play.
You see iZoom there, cat crawling into the enemy, and that's to do with getting information. He's going to try and get as much as he can. As Hello My Bad's going to try and rotate past that. Train's pretty solid though. Can't really get past it though. He's going to have to try and retime that as he will now work his way around the outside of blue, trying to block out Pod, trying to find somewhere to hide. The Dodgers though do go down. Actually, got a massive note. He was on the outside. He actually made able to get himself right to the very top. So how he got there, no idea, but definitely a sleeper agent, an additional kill, and more importantly, now picking up 4th place as well. So down to it, 3v1v2. It's the strength though is coming from Pod, but how have been conquering the high ground for quite some time now.
Off on this high ground here. I want to see a lift finish here. Somebody grab the lift. Let me get some shots coming out from the top of that lift right there. I mean, talk about some content, but looks like that is going to get pushed out with this next phase to kind of go right there. I did see a couple of rotations possible with the drop out of, you know, I want to say the train car there, but it looks like right now POD is going to catch out. How Lazza to go down right there. Schofield in the back could open up with the AUG. Is again a little bit of a peek here from Hello My Bad. He's been absolutely on fire today, on point with all the shots coming through. That one should confirm Lazza as he peeks back up to find Schofield. He's looking POD on the backfield for the pressure here. Could easily be a POD win. Levante to find Schofield, and now 3v1 for WLA to commence.
Look at this fakey smoke though. He tried to fakey smoke. He wants to bait him into a shot here. My bad, massive IQ play. Let's see if he can capitalize it. See if he can pick any one of the players up though. There comes an RPG potential ending though. Does oh he I thought he got hit with the RPG. He did in the P90, but the RPG whistled past him. Pod take it, 10 kills, and that nearly was a death by RPG. A winner chicken dinner. Nonetheless, 20 points though. What a game from Pod.
That would have been an explosive finish right there. Nonetheless, still exciting. POD finds the rhythm, puts up 10 kills. Hakatori with 4, Levante with 4, and really showcasing their talent there. And they were kind of new on my radar here. It's good to see that there's some other teams out there, you know, aside from the heavy hitters, that are keeping this thing really interesting. And like I said, you know, again, roster changes are coming in, new team additions are coming in, and there's just a lot of really good things, you know, for these teams to get involved in. So, you know, hats off to POD for a well-deserved victory.
Pod, a game, team that I know well, and very strong. Actually, slows down. I feel like Pod was so close for a number of the matches, unable to get the chicken dinner. I feel like that's kind of the case all the time. But when they get that momentum going, they look and feel good to watch as well. So I do like what they're doing, kind of again working their way into that late going. We're going to take a very quick break, and it is always a quick break though because we are on our PLH Pro League Hub. This is the last opportunity. We've got Upper Bracket kicks off tomorrow the 5th, so the last time we're going to see it. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. It's completely free on this platform. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the final map though, game number 6.
Back at it again, this time over the top of Erangel as we enter over the military base. We're coming out to end at Zarki here. Not the greatest plane path here, but again, it could open the door for a military base. We've got Fairy Pier in the mix. We've got some opportunity for some dangerous zones coming into Erangel here. We've had some interesting matches over Vikendi, some crazy matches over Tago, and a lot of different players, different teams taking home the victory and taking home some big plays today. So it's Erangel, everybody's favorite map, back at it, and let's see what we got to expect this time around, Mark.
Arankle, the last time's really going to see this. The time I might be due for the update, which means I need to update my cinematic. I've got Miramar to do, so I'm going to stack up Miramar and Arankle to get them redone. I like the remaster of Miramar. I get really hungry when I look at the KFC adverts. I'm not going to lie. Does Arankle need it? Mostly not. Like, is it due? 100%. Like, every other map's been done, so why not do the OG and why not do the one that was out there first, the one that's been developed the most? I think it's due a bit of love, right?
Yeah, it is, man. Like I said, and just some of the we've got Ashka and Zarki. They've been a part of this since the start, and both of those play. I don't really think they're moving much, you know, but yeah, it would be huge to see. Like, look at the zone. We got Zarki in it. Let me get a Zarki finish. I mean, you got players again on the map. I'm huge about seeing different end zones. Like I said, again, I like a standard. I like a, hey, it's going here off this plane path. But again, I like a little bit of surprise too, because it really does keep the matches interesting. 6 years into things here, like, I like to see an end game that I've never gotten 6 years into esports here. And again, the players have to feel a little bit of the same similarity there. So, you know, Zarki, Kameshki, you know, you've got Lipovka, who was tied in there for a long time, where we've seen some Lipovka finishes. Primorsk, and even at the southern part of that zone, was involved in a lot of finishes. And then you just don't get to see Zarki and Kameshki. So maybe with the addition of the change-up, the switch-up, Stalburn is going to be a huge fight to kind of take there, as I like the addition that they've done to Stalburn. So there's a lot of good things coming out from the addition. Again, like I said, I think you hit it right on the head. Is it necessary or is it needed? No, probably not. But again, it being the last map on the roster, and again, the oldest map around, it definitely would be good to see a little bit of a refresher here.
Yeah. It'd be a nice little refresher, though. The zone does give us that temptation of Zarki. I've only ever had an outside Zarki. I've never had it go anywhere near inside that mythical ending, so to speak. But maybe Zarki will get moved. Maybe in a future update, we're going to see Zarki come down, like what we saw with our Campo Militaire. Such a waste of area, I felt, from Campo Militaire. It was right on the outside edge, never really dropped on, never really ended there around there. And actually, now that it's come down towards that cruise area, it does really favour potential that we are going to get Campo Militaire ended. So I do like it. And again, Waterworld, like, let me just touch on that. Waterworld for me, like, I was never a fan. It's okay. But like the new area, this new sort of dock area they're putting in, makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Like, it's going to revamp this whole area and it will look good. If you haven't seen it already, there is put some stuff on Twitter. I put all the photos and the teaser video. But yeah, this whole area here is getting redone, and I think you just make this area more usable.
Definitely would be nice to see it back into play there again. You see quite a few teams that take it as a drop spot, but as an end game player, you know, as again, it's very, very difficult to kind of decide where it's going, and you don't really see too many end games there anyway. So it'd be nice to see a little bit of addition to the switch up with the ruins kind of play field right there. We do see a lot of end games around the ruins, so, you know, with the addition of that switch up, could definitely end up, you know, making a rotation easier. And that right there, I think, is going to be a huge addition to Erangel as far as the change of how play style goes, because you don't see quite a few teams willing to play in the ruins or willing to play inside Watertown. But this may open the door here where we see a few more teams actually get involved in that area of the map there. But teams rotating in, it is starting to finally get them way in as we got phase one coming to a close. SRM on the pool up here with PBC, who has been quieter on the day right here. The Cube, a great spot in this zone, not only for the end game, but for rotation kills. Oh, the foot.
Yes, yeah, you always get spotted like that. You can't hold the stairs like this. You're going to be seen every time. You're better off actually posting up on the door, I feel. They're not gonna come from the top, right? They're gonna come from down below. There's only two doors. If you put yourself in that corner, you might be all right. You might get away with it. Oh no, my God! There's a third crash. Woo! Bumblebees buzzing their way into victory, maybe. They come rolling in, trying to get SRM. What the hell is going on? SRM being the aggressor. They've gone down for one. They now back themselves in. And little solo ranger. Too far there. He's just hiding out. Double shotgun as well, worth noting. Let's see what happens here.
Not a whole lot happening right off the rip here, but BS, the Bumble Squad, comes in to basically turn the fight on its head here. SRM having to pull off this fight. And now we just got Pooh just kind of holding out. They don't realize that he's here just yet. The rest of the squad is starting to swim their way over as well. And they're going to try to put some support where support is needed. If they can get involved in this fight before he's spotted out right here, patience actually paying off here for Poofax.
How are they not going in this one building either? You've always got a normal loot guy like in the squad. Like I can let you know it's not always me, right? I've had those days, but I'm the guy that always pushes. I'm the guy that you need to control back. But every squad's got a loot guy. Where's this loot guy in Bumble Squad? Like, surely they've not even looked into that one building just yet.
No, we haven't even given it an opportunity to peek over. They're getting comfortable, and the more comfortable they get, the more upsetting it's going to be for them when Poofak comes alive.
Surely go have a look in the one building. I'm still surprised though. His little tippy toes are not great. They're not in the best position. They're just having a little movement around in the car park. You know, we park this car down this other side though.
The scout out?
Is he actually got a freebie? There is no way. They're going for a 2-2 maybe, so they're going to send another one off. He's getting close.
Yeah. Oh, they're coming alive. Okay, so at least they've started to get in. Pooh is going to come through. Comes in with the S12, pops a few shots in the back, gets the knock. The trade is there. And it looks like waiting for the right time to respond here. PVC is going to catch him on guard. S12 comes around. A couple more pumps to find that squeeze. The flush comes through. Now the reload can commence. The third PCF member does come alive as well as he's popping around, dancing from the side. Shots again from TBC. Woo! Talk about some collected chaos right there. They were able to maintain Pooh with some great comms, and he's going to pull in PBC to take that fight in a great form.
How was he able just to run? Right, how were they able not to go loot that one building? 1, 2. How was he was running around like free roaming around the compound, just shooting the shotgun. They're like, he looked up, he got knocked, he looked back and was like, how the hell and where the hell did you come from? I reckon they're going to look back in their 2D and they're going to be like, wow, he was there the whole time.
Never going to leave a building unchecked again. I can tell you that after watching this VOD.
No, Navi again losing 2. And might play this one now as a 2-man. But like it's been a duo squad this evening for them. I think there's a little bit of work to be done though. Upper bracket kicking off tomorrow. And they looked good yesterday. Good yesterday as well. So I have to again wait and see what that means.
Coming in, Alia left for dead here. Navi will lose 1. Fuzz finally getting a little bit more chance to exist with the team. We've seen him quite a little bit for the solo game style play at the end of the game here, but looking like he is going to have the chance to be with the full Woo force here and just continue to center himself up. His team looking like they got a great spot in the zone. We may see a plane finish here as it looks like just outside of shooting range. A lot of potential end games here, and these are some exciting end games here in this northern part of Erangel. George Pool's in it. South George Pool's in it. We do also have the Zarky that we'll keep talking to, hopefully that it does come into existence. But SRM, Happiness starting to exert their dominance here in the center of that zone. Navi as the 2 after losing Alia are now going to play this 1-1 split here right on the edge of the zone as well as just outside. So if Happiness, I want to say they know what's going on here. If they don't find the knockdown to Faris, this is going to be Navi here into the late game. But again, just in that similar fashion we've been speaking all day, not able to stay full 4 very early on here in these matches tonight.
It is unlike him. It is unlike him, but new squad kind of confirmed recently, officially with that video. Have to have a look at it, how things go. I think they'll be going back looking at these after and rethinking about what they're going to do maybe on the upper bracket. What we don't want is Navi going down to a lower bracket and going out. want to see them go through. And if you look at the last event, if you look at Road to Rehab, they started the group stages so strong, but it's unable to clutch up when it came to the critical stages. We're now going into the critical stages. Let's see what they can do from here. If you deploy from here, you even gonna get picked up. Yeah.
There it is.
It's there. Get picked up. I obviously not to go, but that was more of a in case it goes the other way. Not getting that Zaki that we need. But I can tell you what we are getting. We're getting an RV fight here with the Woo. Look, shots go back. Looks like Fuzzface though does take a face for the bullets though, and Mel is down to one shot. Big nade goes through and Diffix goes down. Oh my days, the projectile picks up him as well. Ibby goes down after the use of the car. Nade goes off, hits the car, flies over and picks up Ibby. How unfortunate it is for those boys.
That one right there, straight out of the movies right there. Diff gets knocked as well. Navi down to the solo effects. Coming in for some third-party steals here. Looking to do some damage. Looks like all finding some damage on the J-Mix as well. In comes Nixie to secure this compound for the squad right here is Mel fighting tooth and nail. Nade comes up. Ibiza is back on his feet. Now going for the rest here on a Diff. Nixie knock confirmed instantly there from 10 meat off to the side there for Happiness. And again, Effects getting closer and closer to closing out this fight here. And the Woo just always third-partied out. They have great pushes, great fights, but it's always the third party that does take them by surprise here. There goes Ibiza, all down to the solo Fuzzface again.
Ibby was doing well. It's so unfortunate for him as he just got hammered by the flying car. That is like a one, I feel like in a million. And we've got to catch it on camera. GG's. One-on-one here. Happiness though aggressive. They've definitely built confidence with their Happiness throughout these scrims so far. So they're going to be looking good. They're going to be happy with this. So let's have a wait to see how they go as they are playing that third party edge. So now back towards him. There gets their headshots. Doesn't quite get the connection. And Buzzface, he's anchoring down. And wait though, hopefully losing the player. I feel like Mel's got an idea, got rough estimation of where he is. Our happy squad are moving their way in.
Slowly but surely here. They're starting to creep in. They're starting to close it out. And they're really going to make this hard for either of these teams to move out. The more focus they put on this fight, though, the less focus they put on getting into phase 3 here. 40 seconds about to be on the clock till we get into our next phase here. And again, is it going to even phase up here? We've got these teams fighting outside of zone. They still got to make their approach into phase 2 here, as it doesn't look likely that we're going to get, you know, this fight and rather a clear winner. Happiness really the only one that's happy about the fight here. But Mel was kind of hoping that nobody was going to get involved. Woo sends it in, and then basically now both teams are at a loss here.
Both teams are definitely at a loss. Zone goes past him. Let's face though, because jammer pack on. Been a bit of a debate with the jammer pack and how it's been taken in esports. I think it needs a bit more time, personally. We'll have to wait and see what he does. First, they're trying to bait those shots in. He gets them well. And Navi goes 16th place for them. Got a few meds on. Happiness, though, looking to close the ankle, though. As right in the middle of him. I'm taking some initial shots himself. Happiness recall back. Temney himself back into safety. And I think he's waiting to hear. And I suppose another set of footsteps. I feel like Fossface has just heard him.
Yeah, he's playing a little bit too passive. Bassa to not.
He's heard him. He's heard the footsteps. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
100%. He's waiting for the angle now. He doesn't know if he's going to come on the inside or the outside.
10 keeps trying to bait him, and he's trying to not over lead him, but he's also trying to give the comms out of there. So there's the nade. Should start to realize where he's at. Again, those shots coming in, there's an off angle player from Happiness who has Fuzzface pretty much lined up, and that's allowing Tenny to not get overly aggressive there. And there are shots through the door from Effects, just trying to pre-fire, and again trying to bait him out here. Shots from from Fuzz, trying to do the same here. Neither going to catch each other with those bullets out of the wall. Comes Fuzzface taking the 1v1 with Effects, and unfortunately, just the better AUG is an Effects hand at that point. And unfortunately, just a tough fight for Fuzzface there after losing all of his players on the pool up there. Out in the 15th, J-Mix to follow right in suit in 14th. Now question mark here in the fight with WLA. First gets shot right out of the vehicle. Nade to find another Bestilich, trying to save the day for WLA, and he does with the long range shot from the AUG right there. Somehow, some way, they're able to come out on top. Over to PCF on the rotation. It's going to be PBC, but nope, there's Salik. There's that one-tap heading from the Dragunov to come out, finds him out of the vehicle, and then just mutual destruction all over the place right there. SLD taking some pressure on the last player alive for PBC. 6 kills on the board for these guys this time, but looking like they're down to their final player here inside the shack.
Insane play from them. SLD, Sleep Dodgers, though, able just to try and hold out the zone, tinkering and holding that sort of south and forcing these teams down to a little bit more of a difficult situation. How into a spot, I'll give them that, and they might be able to control the bridge. I think they are just keeping their toe in the water, especially on that south. But he's going to play over about 39 seconds though before we will get that phase number 4, and that will be the one that will commit to it. That'll be the one that will let it go. Now, how on that hand, they're going to struggle to come out because teams like Pod who have to come over from the south side, they want to try and peek up, they want to try and get involved with the action, but they're going to get shut down slight. Question mark though, it's clear on that far edge. WA will now go out. WA are looking good, people. Check those names, write them down, and if you haven't already, get involved in our Twire. It's a private Twire lobby for PC and for PAS, and definitely for our PEC teams. These are going to be the ones who want to be watching. These names are going to be the ones you need to be writing down because, as I said, Mercy Gaming, massive shout. Some of the guys are already in chat. They stepped up to the mark straight away and said, hey, look, do you know what? You're doing something. Let's do something. We'll have some fun on the rounds. Get involved now. Feel out the competition. Test how good you are against some other people. But when it comes down to the finals, I'm going to see if I can get some more giveaways for both the PEC and the PAS one. I think I'll separate them down. So I think we'll have a competition per one. And yeah, we'll get some other giveaways. And see who's got the best fantasy, the PUBG Fantasy League.
Gotta love it. Get involved when you can get involved here. SRM, the solo Baron peak here. Again, full sense in his most formed fashion here. But looks like from the back, Mad trying to delay the push. Spots out the creeping SRM player here. Now it's up to Odin. Odin trying to come through again. Happiness having such a great spread on their angles. He's trying to use him for defense to maybe use the body to deflect a few shots. Finds one, but can't get the flick to find the second right there. Happiness Esports, again, a tough team to take down right now. 9 teams now remain after that elimination there. BBL inside of a great position inside the zone. DA as well. They're trying to recover. Again, as I say, a great position. Maybe not the best because so many third-party shots coming out. They should be able to reset, recover, and then play that position from the hill there.
Richmond, after clearing that fight, though, on that west-hand side, they get their rotation completely clean through North George. Coming up and around, they're going to try and take the high ground. Happiness in a good spot, as you mentioned. They're going to try and work their way down. They've already got eyesight, though, onto BBL, but they've got to be cautious now because they have a little bit of a sleeper working his way up. That's up there. Get some great shots on those. Mad will go down. They'd instantly cooked in hand, and Happiness needs to get returned. And there goes a second one as well. And Happiness not so happy now. Down to their final player, and yet again, Effects needs to try and hold a multiple push.
Which is on fire though for question mark. He's come through for his flush here. Now looking to find Effect. 1v1 from the side comes a doozy. In first with the actual confirmation, he's going to get some love onto BBL. BBL going down. The trade comes through onto first right there. It's all up to Cliv. Cliv versus Dante here. He fires some shots over the grass right there. Dante is going to go prone. Tries to come back up, but Cliv, relentless with the shots, will find the knock onto Dante. Now looking over to find the final few of QM here. He peeks up. Nobody there to kind of greet him, but in comes the vehicle. The full send is there. Knows the res is possible, but from the side, any Bodies is going to take down Clib. BBL down and out in 8th. 7 teams remain. QM getting the res here as Levante doing some damage over on the side of Hall. In comes SLD, and it looks like just action-packed endgame here that we're getting right now, Mark.
It's definitely action-packed. These teams will continue to push in. Sleep Dodgers, though, have got a huge ridge they can play from. Pod needs to try and work their way in. Foot controlled. Again, we saw that from Foot when it came down to Takeover. Very cool, calm, and collective game for them. Zone will now shift away from the vehicles. Be ready to go, and they got to get moving themselves against all odds. And Foot Esports have an against all odds rotation in. I've got to be cautious now because Sleep Dodgers have to focus back. Oh, nearly got for a headshot there. Salik slams through that mini window.
Nice shot from Salik there. Again, this has been an interesting player to watch here for SLD. His nades, his util is on point. Yeah, and just great, right?
Has been a util on point. Shots are on point. Now we're going to have to find Sleep Dodgers, though. They've got to be cautious. Looks like they've made a call here, CC. They're not going to focus on the south side. They're going to go try and stop anyone coming in at the north, and we're going to see this whole team collapse up to that side of the map.
Big collapse here about SLD powering in the position here. I like that they've taken control here over BBL. We've seen BBL having themselves a nice little position there as well, but getting back to our all or nothing, our all or nothing squad against all odds, excuse me, is going to basically have themselves a fight with Foot here on the side. Both these teams nowhere really to work with in the zone there, so it's going to be an easy 4v4 for these teams to take. Once the power and numbers dwindles for either side, it's just going to be third-party city for these teams coming upside the hill. There's SLDs in good positioning here, so is quite a few other teams there. So
they're going to make the push, though.
Right now, it's positioning, but Foot with the send right now.
Yeah, well, it's about that position. They've already positioned themselves a little bit further in, but it's not a big chunk, really. Marcy's gets an off angle, and he was looking to try and, unfortunately for him, doesn't quite get that knock with the gun, but he will launch through. Doesn't quite catch the players, though, running their way towards that smoke. Resmoke will happen. Pod will go down towards zones. They've been caught on that outside for quite some time. Still haven't looked for Vard. Vard is not making that move just yet, and both these teams here, they're tinkering on the outside edge. They haven't got too much to control, and with only 5 teams, CC, if this fight continues to lengthen out, whoever wins that fight on the inside is going to come and control both these teams out and get a chicken dinner.
Easily can get themselves in a position if they can close that fight out up top. Okay, we've got DA just kind of peppering shots, making this fight that much harder for these teams on the south there. So yeah, it's really going to come down to who's going to secure the fight first, but playing the littlest of position, all these teams, not really wanting to use the center of that zone. So, it's just been a very challenging spot to kind of hold off for, but using the cars for some sort of vehicle in comes against all odds. The util is kind of stepping in the blue zone just shy of where it needs to be, but is going to basically make its way inside of the tower there. 8C with a nice follow-up nade onto himself. Unfortunately takes him down. Foot loses one. Vard will try to get some attention and delay the push coming out from against all odds, but Marcy is just doing a great job keeping Foot here on the back pedal. Nades coming in, util coming in, and with the pressure being so close, they're not really entirely sure how to respond. Is Foot going to try to step inside the vehicle here? T-Bone switching out to the MK12. Shots being transferred back and forth right here against all odds, having to reconsider their push now.
They've got to reconsider. Look, Marcy's really being the creative person here. The zone shifting slightly away from them, though. The utility is still coming. Marcy's fully committed to this one himself. So, me, maybe against all odds, Marcy's going to have to try and hold out himself and actually kind of live to that name, be against all odds. But Kino hasn't left his boy either. It's a big 2-2 split here. So, kind of a 3v2. Esports versus against all odds. To try and out. DA, they're going to focus their attention back on the other side, though. Marcy actually going to go get his car. If he's got enough of the speed. He hasn't got enough on it, though, to get through. I was a bit worried about that, but at least it would give him provide a bit of cover. He'll be able to back away. Now the fight kicks off, though. Northside question mark versus SLD.
Nate comes in looking for the flush on the first. Again, SLD's lost one. Bestilich has had one of his best games of the night here, so 3 kills on the board. Looking to put that pressure forward here. T-Bone to find Kino. Is this more util coming out from question mark? Nobody there to receive. There's SLD a little bit out of range for QM, so their pressure's coming through. Salik holding the angle here. Does spot out the head of first right there. I don't know if he's going to be able to get the knock over to Matralius. Matralius is going to find Vard as well as T-Bone. Both out of the vehicles. A little bit of help coming out from the Silers here. Back over to DA. DA creeping in again inside the zone. They're the team that's going to be holding out these teams towards the edge. Bestilich knocked. Bestilich with the trade does find Moss right there. It's from the third party that he does get knocked, so the smoke should delay this, but SLD on the pressure. First tries to take the fight here with one. Anybody's takes some few shots. Not to find the knock. Peeks back over. Salik and Anybody's both come up over the ridge at the same time, but unfortunately for them, the timing was almost wrong. Anybody's finds him and goes down there in the backside, but then the Salik trying to be the last alive for SLD against all odds, and DA looking like they've got the zone control already. It's not looking like it's going to go their favor here.
DA, they did have the zone control, but they didn't have silence. He's going to be pushing his way around against all odds, though, losing 2. They are massively split. They've got 1 north, 1 south, so give or take, they are fighting solos, but the numbers are so low here. We've kind of got a 1v1 on either side from an all against nothing. And DA, they're going to lose one out. There's that confirm. eventually go down to actually this team, despite being one-on-one both sides of the zone, they've got a one-on-one now to take DA. They've only got one, and then our Steve Dodgers also the same.
Could go any direction as far as the points go here. So, you know, again, even though they said you have 2 players 4 against all odds here, still going to be a lot tougher of a fight here for them in between both these 2 teams, at least grouping up now. Silers and Burgess starting to stack their numbers here and put it in play here. Salik does spot out one of the opposing members here, catches him off guard, maybe going for the first aid here. If Salik gets this opportunity, it's going to be down against at all odds here. But Neutralius playing his positioning here as they group up down to the south right here. Now it's going to force these 2 solos potentially to take the fight, giving the power back to against all odds. I like how grouped up and unified they are, taking the charge as a unit.
Yeah, definitely going to take the charge. That was a risky play. Didn't get caught out, though, but they will put themselves on the outside edge of zone. That's really good for them. So I think they're obviously slightly chasing down DA, laying low. I think he's just trying to farm as much information as possible when it comes down to sound. It's going to be a bit of an explosive ending. So their games have always been explosive, but have been a very consistent level of deaths. Now, against all odds, they had that fight with Foot Esports for quite some time here, but didn't have the information. I kind of like this play from them, though, CC. They're looking to try and get anything they can, but you can tell they have nothing at all on information.
Again, thinking that, you know, using the car for cover, they're going to make sure that they bait that out and they explode the car and deny anything there. But everybody's using the rocks and the grass here, so, you know, kind of using the PUBG knowledge to their advantage. 9 kills on the board for SLD, 6 for against all odds. And we've got 4 for DA here. It looks like the power in SLD's favor here, but Salik has his work cut out for him. He's in the center of both these teams here, so if Metralius gets involved or if the fight against all odds starts to work out in that favor, could easily come up over the top and find this advantage here. But right now, everybody's using the phases to their advantage. It's only phase 7, a minute on the clock, and we still got phase 8 to pop. So it's really just a matter of timing and waiting for these teams to come alive.
I feel like only one team has the information. That's Salik at the moment. Against all odds, they're trying to obviously get information. I also believe DA doesn't have the information either. He's trying to listen out. Now, against all odds, haven't got close enough. He's not picked anything. Sleeple Dodgers haven't run quite close enough to DA either. So again, only one of those 3 teams for me has that intel. Now, Salik obviously does have the advantage. If he doesn't get spotted, if he doesn't get picked up at all, against all odds, be looking on that east side. They would have expected they've run all the way down here, that no one's backfilled him, no one's followed him a background. So it's going to be up to that team just to keep their head a little bit on the swivel. They are tinkering with going forwards, but this, I want to make sure they continue looking over this side of the ridge, continue checking back to make sure no one has rotated around behind them. It's going to be a first come, first serve. I feel like the last one to shoot might be the winner.
It's a teeter-totter with danger right now, and honestly, it's hard to pick of which side you're going to end up on. Looking like DA, you know, again, it's about meticulousness. You're just waiting out for the right opportunity to step out and showcase that, hey, this is when the time is now. But I like the ridge advantage here. You know, they're actually not playing left or right. They're playing the back side of the ridge here, so they're not going to give their attention to one or the other. They're using the edge. If they were standing on one side, it could easily go to Salik or it could easily go to Metralius. And they're basically making it their own 1v1 still as a unit. Like I said, it's not like they're opposing each other here, but they're keeping all angles in check, and they're making sure that whether side it's left or right, there it is. They're going to step in to take this fight together. Siler spots out one. Nade comes through. In comes the pressure from Burgess. You can see that the util already being cooked up, set in that direction. I'm sure Metralius will take advantage of this, potentially to step up and get involved. But no, he's still prone. He's still laying down. That one is going to confirm Salik right there as the util raining in from Silers to finally do the justice. It's all up to Metralius here for DA.
That was so unfortunate, though. Those with the 1 minute information, but the information gathers so quickly against all odds. Going to try and take it. Those might go to a 1v1. Good shots don't go down. Push him down for a 1. Repeats on the other side. He picks up, though. Makes the push. Leaves the tree. Leaves the cover. Leaves the safety to take the aggressive win. And DA closed the door with 6 kills. 16-point game. GG's at the end. The sleeper came alive.
What? DA. That's exactly it. The timing, you laid and waited, and just it paid off right there. Salik was kind of a little bit more aggressive, peeking, and that peak eventually cost him those shots in his position. And then once they realized where the gold was at, they started to mine. Hats off to against all odds, but DA, Metralius, coming through with the victory.
Big victory. There's a couple of things to break down there. He lost the information, right? But obviously when he realized he was the last person, it was a 2-on-1, right? He whipped those shots out, didn't quite get it. So he came out the right side of the tree, he hit the shots, didn't get the knock. He then peeked that left side because he kind of guessed that's where they were coming from. Gets a player hanging out, like I think it was silence at that point. Gets him hanging, gets that wonderful knock. But he doesn't sit tight. He didn't even reload the clip. He just pushed forward. He's expecting those instant nades, those instant smokes, the blue zone nades to come back. And he didn't go defensive. He went offensive. And do you know what? That momentum that he generated just clutched him that win. What a win from DA.
Literally, the response, like I said, and it wasn't just like he got the knock, waited on the tree, got the knock, momentum, full shift, down and around the mountain there, Bus, in order to catch him by surprise. Tried to respond, but I mean, against all odds, when you just really had to backpedal right there. And again, I don't think they were expecting the aggression, so that was just well timed, well played. And again, now another team stepping up. That's 6 different teams, 6 different wins. We're not seeing any overall, powerhouse inconsistency with these teams here. So it's showcasing you. Again, these practice, it's worth it. You're not just going to come into the lobby here and just walk away with things. And again, if you do, power to you on that day. You deserve it. I'm sure, with everything that you were doing wasn't just because the teams weren't playing. It was because of what you as a team were able to put on the board right there. So continue to put this practice in. It's been a pleasure here with Mark watching you guys do these games here. And again, I love to be caught by surprise. And
Yeah,
that was a great way to end the day.
that was a good win. And you know what? By surprise, DA, the only team to put 2 chicken dinners on the board. Apart from that, it's been pretty much a split lobby. Thank you very much, obviously, everyone that has tuned in. Apologies, not on Twitch because obviously there was a PLH only have 1 Twitch stream. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to bump myself on towards YouTube as that other cast wanted to go pick up our Twitch. Anyway, I'll be back later on in the week. There is more news to drop, and there are more events that I've already agreed. I'm just looking at a contract and another one. If that's all done, dusted, I'll get that signed off and obviously watch this space. No, it's not main stage. It's not main stage, all right, people. Before anyone starts sending that, no. And I must admit, you guys make me laugh. Hashtag the people's caster. I've been giggling about that. Appreciate it. Much love. For now, like, subscribe.
So that's what PC stands for?
Yeah, 100%. Keep subscribing. Obviously, YouTube is free. As I said, I always want to keep this as a backup platform. More importantly, I'll make more long form content here. And again, obviously, massive thanks, Mercy. We are going to be doing a little bit of a finals private Twire event, so get the opportunity now to get in. Jump on my social medias for that as well. I'll get the links up there and the passwords out. But for now, thank you very much. I can't even rate someone, so I can't even say let's go rate someone. I can't. It's YouTube. There's one big downside to doing YouTube, but for now, it's been much love. I'll see all you guys though on the next stream, and check out my social medias though for that. Peace.